We're here. Is it
Whoa.
going? It said something there. All right. Yeah, we might be a little bit lagged. Let's see. Well,
Maybe
hello.
maybe I'm just Hunter S. Thompson, bro. Maybe I'm just like, where are my
You
glasses at? I feel like I need glasses for this one.
do you have readers? You have bifocals or?
No, no, no. I mean like shades,
Oh,
man.
your
I'm not.
sunglasses. You know
I
what? You're
need.
absolutely right, dude. We should.
We should,
We should. I don't
but
even
I
have
don't
sunglasses in
know.
here. I don't have them.
No. Anyway,
Welcome.
well,
Oh,
welcome.
got a lot of static there. Hold on.
Yeah, 1 minute.
So I think it's on your side. Let's see.
No, it's on your side, bro.
It's on my side.
It's on your side.
What is that?
Echo cancellation. Good.
All
How do
right.
I sound right
You
there?
sound whatever you did good.
Hey.
All right. The
Hey.
streaming show where you learn on the fly because we learn as we go. Hello, welcome to Side by Side
Don't
Movie Podcast.
don't we all though, CJ? Like, aren't we all just learning
That's all
every
we are.
day?
That's all. Yeah, that's all. It's like you learn. I honestly, yeah, you're right. I feel like if you're not learning every day, you're not really growing. But sometimes it's okay to just be. So you learn to just.
Bro, you don't even have to try to learn things. You just naturally do. Your brain is so crazy. It learns
Well,
stuff you don't even know. Like, how do you breathe?
it does it on its own. You don't have to. You don't have to do
Exactly.
it.
Exactly.
It comes on its own.
This is a
Um,
great start to this episode.
It
I'm
is.
telling you.
This is a really good start to this episode, dude. I was just saying right now with good old Ben here that,
Now I look
you
like
know,
Jesus with the light coming
you
in.
call me, no, what'd you call me? Sunshine,
Glowing Jesus.
glowing Jesus, because I was in the dark and I turned the lights on and he's
See what I say, Jesus. Like, I was in the
Jesus.
dark.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I guess I was in the dark, and then I turned the lights on.
Oh
It
man,
sounds like it's straight out of the Bible.
and you know what? I think this is the best part about this show is that we're definitely doing it by accident, Hunter S. Thompson style, and what's your
Gonzo.
Gonzo? So Side by Side Movie Podcast is a streaming show where two buddies have an open discussion about one movie or two movies. Sorry, two movies, and they compare them, and they have something in common. And today we have stumbled upon, and I want to say, wait, where am I at? Here we go. I want to say that this was a great stumble. It's Bill Murray's fault, like always.
Yeah,
And as you can see in the background, we are. This is probably a tribute episode to Hunter S. Thompson
yeah,
because
it really kind of is. Yeah.
we are doing Where the Buffalo Roam. Oh, I should be ready on this. I'm sorry. Where the Buffalo Roam, 1980, rated R, 1 hour 39 minutes. Semi-biographical film based on the experiences of Gonzo journalist Hunter S. Thompson, director Art Linson, writers Hunter S. Thompson's, and screenplay is by John Kay, Peter Boyle, Bill Murray, Bruno Kirby. And then we are just slowly just gonna ease into Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, 1998, rated R, 1 hour 58 minutes. An Audible journalist and his psychopathic lawyer travel to Las Vegas for a series of psychedelic escapades. The one and only Terry Gilliam is the director. Once again, it's the book of Hunter S. Thompson. Terry Gilliam is a screenplay, and also Tony Grisoni stars Johnny Depp, Benicio del Toro, and Toby Maguire. I just, man, dude, did you get into? Okay, so I just found out about where Buffalo roams is through you.
Yeah,
So that was
that
like,
one. That one. I think I caught on Netflix like way back in the day, and well, I say way back in the day, like 2013 or 2014, something like that. I just was kind of
it feels like back in the day, huh?
yeah, right.
I mean, it doesn't.
Um,
I mean, sorry, it doesn't really feel like it, but it's time. Time has passed.
yeah, time has it's at least I'm going to say at least 7 years ago. Um, but yeah, man, I was just kind of scrolling through there, as I was doing back then, probably smoking a little bit, and was like, oh, Bill Murray. Well, this is Hunter S. Thompson. Okay, yeah, I've seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. This is gonna be it's gonna be a good little film right here. And I mean, it is. Was it? Is it as memorable as Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? No. Um, at least from I don't know whether it's just because I've seen Fear and Loathing so many times or just like whenever I saw it. I can't even tell you exactly the first time I saw Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, but I don't think I had participated in any extracurricular activities before that point, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Fear and Loathing. I think, man, I didn't see it at the theaters. I think I saw it because the first time I saw it, it tripped me out. Like I was really tripped out. I
Yeah.
think I was like 19 or 20, and I think it was in Austin. Somebody had it playing in the background at a party, and I sat down and I watched it. And I mean, this was actually a good party. I'm addicted to movies, so I was like,
Well,
let's
dude,
watch it.
this I mean, that movie can get you sucked in real quick because it's literally a trip. Like,
Yeah, especially while you're
it,
tripping, like while or drinking. At least I was at the time. I
yeah.
was just drinking. I was when I was doing my lab rat studies. I got introduced to Hunter S. Thompson through a fellow lab rat. There usually what happens is you have to wait 30-day washout from when you take a drug to the next drug you can dose, and so to get back in there. So it's
Mhm.
like I call it the 30-day. I call it the 30-day washout. So or the 30-day cycle where you'll end up you and someone else because you have to wait 30 days. You'll end up doing multiple studies in 1 year together. Just because you're like it fits with both your schedule, and so you end up hanging out a lot. And I made I made a few friends like that. I mean, I don't really talk to them anymore, but we made little buddies. And one of my buddies introduced me to Max Tucker. I don't know if you know who that guy
Tucker
is.
Max,
Tucker
right?
Max. There you go. Sorry, my
Yeah,
bad. Tucker Max.
the bro. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that
They hope they
one.
don't serve beer in
Beer in
hell.
yeah. I hope they serve beer in hell. Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Oh,
goes.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes that one, and then they introduced me to Dane Cook, which I stumbled upon on my own.
Yeah.
But then we would watch like the specials, and then they'd watch Comedy Central, like when they'd have him and I just watch them, and Superfly, like all that. But the way Family Guy makes fun of him,
What is
Superfly.
it?
What's oh yeah, how he
Yeah,
goes
dude.
and how he goes like yeah, like a Family Guy would make fun of him, would just say like 4 or 5 lines and then walk out, pay me money. But Dan Cook, man, it is. There was he did a TikTok or a Vine, I can't remember what it was, but where it said name of washed up comedian, and it said who is Dane Cook, and ding, and then he turns to him and he goes, "What the fuck?" Like,
Well, I mean, so Dane Cook, man, he had a he was strong. Like he had a
he had a presence, right?
yeah, but it just kind of faded,
Well, he spoke to
faded
our
in.
generation at that moment, like
Yeah,
like because I was in college when he got real
I was in
popular.
high school. Yeah,
So that's what yeah. So high school leading into college, college getting out, graduating, or just being stuck like me. He was really speaking to us for some odd reason.
well,
We're
and you know what's crazy too, man, is like it was like everybody. Like I remember this girl that I really had a crush on in high school, man. She liked Dane Cook, and dude, she was like in church group. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like everybody in the church is all like goody goody and everything like that. People like what they like, but it was just very surprising that she was also into Dane Cook, and she just thought it was hilarious and everything like that. You know,
It's always
like it,
trippy how the preacher's son or daughter always turns into goth, or and it's
dude.
like and you talk to him and you get to know him and you're like, dude, what's up? What why are you? Because sometimes you see the other guys and they're exactly like their dad, like they're like this
Mhm.
little psycho version of their dad looking, and then you see the goth one and you go talk to them. I'm like, all right, I like the music you like, I like the Cure too. Let's talk. And then as you're talking to them, you find out they're like, yeah, they're full of shit, man. I'm like, there's something here.
Dude, that's exactly like the pastor's son that I grew up with, man. He definitely had that little tour. But to be fair, I feel like our friend group like kind of guided him that way. Like he was like, oh, like
You
it
guys
it was
influenced
like
them.
yeah, we were like it, it was that trope already. Like it wasn't like he was doing anything new. It was just like I don't know. I feel like we kind of pushed him into that situation. He just kind of took advantage of it. But he had brothers and stuff that weren't didn't go as hard in the pain as he did. But
Yeah.
um, no, it's just it is interesting. It's very interesting the dynamics of family and how your upbringing can influence what or how you want to act outwardly. You know?
Dude, I'm convinced that we are like there is a lot of nurture, but we are products of our environment, man. Like
Yeah. Oh
if
yeah.
you're around people all the time, like it's just a mixed bag of mixed nuts. You never know what you're gonna get, and then when you
Yeah.
start working with each other, I mean, the reason my son and I think we work so well is because he's literally little me. Like I know what he wants because I like it, but I also know where the line's at, where I don't want to bend it too far or break it. So I kind of keep it, but I got to be sturdy. At the same time, I'm like, I kind of have to talk to him like I talk to myself, and I realize a lot of people don't know how to talk to me. how to approach
Yeah.
me. But since I am me, it's easy for me. But you'll get some people like there's a lot of judgmental people, so that already just pushed to the side. And then it's like, and then I had to grow up with like a family that's very I don't want to badmouth my family too much, but it's very, they're just always on. It's always like you're never let down. Like it's always if you don't if something you do something, they make fun of you. If you don't do anything, they make fun of you. So it's just like you're just standing there, Even if like something happens, why don't you do anything? It's like there's nothing I could do. The case of beer, I was falling. Look who put it there. Like there's nothing I could have done. I'm right here. Why don't you try? I'm like I'm not Superman. I'm but I'm It's like well, all you do is watch Superman. I'm like, how does it matter? Like it's like
Dude,
growing
that's
up
so
in
funny that you,
inequality.
dude, that's so funny that you mentioned that, man. Back in college, we had I was in a fraternity. We had a group of guys
I
that
wasn't.
went on it. That went on. What's that?
Yeah, I went like that, and I was like, I wasn't.
Yeah.
It's like, I missed out.
Dude, but that's the cool part about it. I was like a little university, so it wasn't exactly like a whole lot of Greek experiences. I'm like, oh, we got money. Like it
Yeah,
wasn't
but
like we were talking.
it's still cool though, and it's not a
Oh
bad
yeah, no,
thing.
it was a lot of fun. Like, but it was just like you didn't. It wasn't like, oh, we gotta go get these guys, stuff like that. It wasn't like Animal House kind of rivalry.
It
I mean,
wasn't like yeah.
literally the university was so small, like all the fraternities were
I
Animal
was about to say
House.
because you're not that big where it's like we got to get the Kappa Gamma go with Deltas, and
Exactly.
then where you guys are like, hey guys, we got to get together because there's only 40 of us and there's 60 chicks, and somehow we're not we're not missing well.
Well, dude, and that's funny actually that I mentioned Animal House because was it Delta Tau Delta Tau Chi is what they are in Animal House, and ours is Delta Chi. So it was like there's actually supposed to be. I think that's where shit, the writer for Animal House or somebody in Animal House was part of Delta Chi. I can't remember. I think I could be misquoting that. But anyway, you said just like your family would get onto you for just sitting there and stuff like that. Well, anyway, a couple of these guys were on a road trip, man, and we had one guy in our group. We would always just kind of rag on him. And so they're going on this trip, and they stop by and they get some drinks, right? And everybody else, they're just sipping from the cup, and this one guy gets a straw, and they're just like, Christian, why'd you get that straw? And so they're just kind of making fun of him. And that was another thing. Back in, whenever in the college days, they would make fun of him for being gay. He wasn't gay, but they would just kind of make that joke,
Oh,
right?
you guys are
I
so
know
mean.
we
God, making fun of
were.
him, not knowing not having a developed brain, and just saying what's going out of your mind. That's just insane. Oh, you guys and your homophobia. I
I'm
did,
telling you,
however,
dude.
I did. My friend my gay friend posted something the other day, or he put in the news, and it said something about Oh no, I don't want to say what I say because I'm gonna sound like a big asshole, but it's basically like I basically was like, he said he was jokingly he called me a homophobe, and I go, hey, don't you get my misogynistic mixed with my homophobia? That's my time, like, and he just started laughing, but I was just like, man, like it's. I mean, I think we're different times now. It's more aware,
Oh
people's more
yeah.
sensitive to that. So I don't know. I grew up with a gay brother, so it was like it
Oh,
wasn't weird to be like it wasn't weird to be oh, like it was more taboo. People want to know more. I'm like, well, ask him if he's gay. I don't know. Like, I don't care. Like, it don't bother me. He's my brother. Like, I don't know anything else. This is all I know. But when you came out with that Prada purse, that gave you a good indication what he was. And then don't tell him anything. Don't tell me anything. I'm like, well, I'm not making fun of him. I just think it's funny. Like, y'all don't see this. Like, y'all don't see the heel thing. You don't see the chaleco. He wore a vest and boots and a cowboy hat all the time. And I was like, you don't see this mini Magic Mike thing? My brother was way ahead of the game. He's way ahead of the game on that. I was just like, dang, but
but yeah, but man, they were like I said, just ragging on him this entire time to the point where he wouldn't even talk to him. Like he was just kind of getting aggravated, right? And so one of the guys up front said, "Hey, what you doing back there?" He's like, "I'm just sitting here." And one of the guys up front, he's like, "Sounds like he said sitting queer," and just like busted out laughing, man. And it was just like one of those things that we kept going, dude. It was one of those stories that just like it hit every single time. And like I said, dude, he's not gay, but even if he was, we'd still love him. I mean, he's a great guy. And we, like I said, we had no problem about it. It was just something, you know how people are. You find something that irritates somebody,
Yeah, and just pick at them.
you pick at them, and
Even
it's that's
even if something that they don't have an insecurity of, you find it, and they still make fun of it. And it's like,
exactly,
and I know this because family members do this to me all the time, but
yeah.
it's all their insecurities. So I'm like, whatever. What do you call it? The no, I mean on that topic, real quick, in case anybody like, I think that's like, I don't
Yeah.
know, when we're young.
Hopefully, you're listening to this whole episode. You don't get that one out of context. Whenever you're
Yeah,
doing clips, don't just clip
because
that one out.
yeah, and I am gonna definitely clip this one. Look at Ben; he's very open-minded about this topic. Back in the day, he doesn't do this anymore. Why not? Just joking. No, I'm just saying it's because we're gonna go down. We're already down. If you're on this Hunter S. Thompson, you should know. And we're talking about how we got introduced to him, and we sidetracked a little bit. We didn't really have a warm-up this morning, but I'll do a little background because we are gonna talk about drug use in this
Yeah.
conversation. There is gonna be conversations of and there are some things that I saw in this in the Fear and Loathing that I was like, holy shit, I don't remember that. And
Yeah.
then there are other things, and there are topics in these movies that are going to be not for all. I mean, our show's PG-13, so you should be at least of age to understand what's the words at least. I don't know. I'm a dumbass, so it's kind of you got to follow me. I should.
Nah, man. Listen, we're just two human beings trying to make our way through life. That's
And
all
that's
we
what
are.
I'm also trying to say, that we're gonna talk about my drug use and my I'm an addict, so this is gonna be I'm open with it, so it's okay for me to talk about this because this movie when I started watching I mean this is just a Hunter Thompson I'm gonna talk about episode I believe because but where the Buffalo roam I feel is the introduction of the gentleman. And
Hmm.
where the Fear and Loathing is his acid trip that he goes on, so I feel like it's a good introduction with the Gonzo and Hunter S. Thompson's because there is a part where I feel in the first one where the Buffalo roams where it like they kind of make him seem like he's a fictional character and it kind of plays like that in the movie, but in the Fear and Loathing, damn right he's there.
Yeah.
Um, but
Well, dude, that's the thing about it is, man. Like Hunter S. Thompson is such like a. I mean, hell, even in that poster, it's like the twisted legend. I mean, of course, it's going to seem like a fictional character because who would ever believe that somebody could go and do all this stuff and still be somewhat sane? Like
okay,
damn,
so check
dude.
this out real quick because this is a great movie for an addict. Fear and Loathing. Actually, both of them. The only thing is the other one feels like a comedy. Where the first one feels like a comedy, the other one doesn't feel like a comedy at all. But there's a lot of funniness to it. So, in
Yeah.
so many words, can you, for our listeners or our viewers, can you please just do a little summary of what Hunter S. Thompson, what he did or what he's known for?
Yeah, so he's known for gonzo journalism, which is essentially just, I mean, from what I understand too, and I'm no Hunter S. Thompson expert by any means, but just kind of um, diving into the thick of it and just going into the deep end and getting into something and really kind of soaking yourself in there. That's the best thing that I know him for. And like I said, by no means am I a Hunter S. Thompson expert at all, but that's kind of what I picked up from
Yeah.
uh,
So
from him.
basically, what he was paid to go do jobs, and he wasn't doing the jobs. He was doing escapades, but he is such a great damn writer that he was able to get around it.
And
And
you
then
you kind of get that from where the buffalo roam. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
and you he's kind of one of those. I mean, especially for the time, man. People weren't doing anything, or people weren't getting really. I mean, technology is kind of catching up now. Now we're starting to get the cameras starting to be more affordable. People are starting to get them. Video is starting to show up. So we're starting to get these crazy ass like people that are these stories of people, and then they're interesting. And he's definitely an interesting human being. Excuse me. I'm on his Wikipedia page, and there's just a lot of on him.
you know what interests me even more than his
Mm-hmm.
is Laszlo's Wikipedia page. He disappeared when he was 39.
Laszlo's
It
been gone since.
Yeah. See, I think whenever where the buffalo roam, like that could have been like I don't know if he was still around at that point. Let me see here.
Oh, dude. So there's like no evidence of him, huh?
No,
Like,
like I was reading earlier on that Wikipedia page, and he said that his they said that his son was the last one to talk to him, and that he was getting on a boat with that was full of snow, and then that's the last they heard of him.
Dude, you should see if he has like a Facebook page or something, or like a Facebook, like someone's posing as him, or maybe it isn't.
Right.
No, it really is me. Come on, guys, I'm over here. It's I think I liked about where Buffalo roams is with the Gonzo character, where you get to see like how he went crazy. Where in Fear and Loathing, he's already full blown crazy. Benicio del Toro
Hmm.
as Gonzo is freaking insane.
Like, dude, it's like waves of insanity. It's not just like all insanity. It's just waves of it. You know?
Man, he did. They do, and the thing about Fear and Loathing, the way you get the effect of the angles they use to take the shots, it feels like you're high the whole time.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
You don't even need to be. I mean, if you are on a drug, my God, you're about to go on a crazy trip. But if even if you're not, you're gonna go on a crazy trip.
the thing about with the lawyer when he says, "Remember, as your lawyer," I think that's a funny joke, but in reality, I would fucking hate to hear that. Like, I seriously would hate to hear that. What do you call it? Yeah, because that man, when man, I don't know where to start. You can ask me questions and I can answer if you're interested, but I don't really like when it comes to me and like my drug abuse. I just kind of stumbled into it, and because of like depression and a heartbreak, and then I just kind of stayed there, and then before you know it, like it kind of graduate to other things and figure them out. And I didn't start off with weed. I think that was the silly thing about with that's a passion there with man, I'm messing his name up. It's Gonzalo, right?
So you're talking about the lawyer?
The lawyer. What's his name?
His real name is Oscar Zeta Acosta, but he in Fear and Loathing he's Doctor Gonzo, and
Okay.
in Where the Buffalo Roam he is Laszlo.
Okay, that's
Uh,
why I'm getting confused, man. All
yeah,
right.
because they don't and both of these works use Hunter S. Thompson's names for them. They don't use they don't use his real name. Um, but what was it here? Like said on his disappearance, and this was so Where the Buffalo Roam was made in 1980, and this is on the Wikipedia page right here. In 1977, Thompson's investigation of Acosta's disappearance, titled "The Banshee Screams for Buffalo Meat," was published in Rolling Stone. According to Thompson, Acosta was a powerful attorney and spokesman, but suffered from addiction to amphetamines and had a predilection for LSD. Thompson wrote that he believed Acosta was either murdered by drug dealers or was a victim of political assassination. Others have speculated Acosta overdosed or suffered a nervous breakdown during his trip. Um, yeah, so that's what we have on. We'll just call him. I don't know.
You want to call him Gonzo or Laszlo? I mean, for Laszlo would be Buffalo Roams, but Gonzo would be for Fear Loathing. But then it get confusing. So this is just
Yeah,
Gonzo. Gonzo.
let's. Uh, we could just say Acosta.
You're going this. I don't. Let's go with Gonzo. It'll be easier
Okay.
for me. Gonzo.
All right.
Oscar Zeta Acosta Ferrero was a Mexican American attorney, politician, novelist, and activist in the Chicano movement. He was most well known for his novels, autobiography of Brown Buffalo and Revolt of a Cockroach People. He doesn't even look anything like Benicio del
Damn, he
Toro.
wrote that.
What?
Okay. So he wrote the oh, okay, I guess autobiographical. Yeah. He wrote the autobiography of a brown buffalo. So he was a writer too.
Yeah, but the thing is crazy. Like he looks like a Chicano, like a Mexican American. Benicio del Toro. He look. He's Mexican. I think Benicio del Toro is Mexican American. But he's the good looking version. But this guy, I mean, this guy would have loved to see these two because Johnny Depp he escapes in Henry S. Thompson. Like it's like I don't think that's Johnny Depp.
No.
And that's when that method or the way he works, like it's great. I think that was one of the first roles where I remember when I saw it, I was like, holy shit, is that Johnny Depp? And I remember I was like, yeah, I think I was at that party. I was like 20 minutes into it, and I was like, damn, that's Johnny Depp. But they don't really focus on his face. They got my like whenever you see his face, it's extreme close-ups.
Hmm.
So it's not really like looking exactly at him. But there's probably actors that could play more realistic looking guy. They have this good look. I know Benicio del Toro is a little too good looking, even out of shape, bloated Benicio del Toro. But that kind of guy, man. Well, he calls him some Samoan. That's another thing because
Well,
Benicio del
no.
Toro.
So he apparently whenever he wrote this Hunter S. Thompson, he wrote Fear and Loathing and called him Samoan. And apparently, Gonzo or Acosta was not happy about that, but they left it in there because he would have to go and do rewrites and stuff like that.
No, I'm
Uh,
okay with that. What I'm
well,
saying
because
is,
okay,
Benicio del Toro does not look Samoan. This guy does look Samoan. It makes sense to me.
yeah,
It threw
well,
me off. I kept wondering why he was calling him.
yeah, because what was it? Yeah, oh, I think it's in trivia on Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas that they actually say that. But yeah, no, um, yeah, it's very wow. So he's been missing for 47 years, 2 months, and 1 day.
Maybe, wow. So this is based off his books. Is that
Oh no, it's more than that. But
how did Hunter S. Thompson get to like the light?
Into the light
They were like into like people's like radar. Dude, I'm getting bad feedback, man. Like
from my end.
yeah, it's like every time something's happening where you're moving. There you go. Like when you move and then it'll just start. I don't know if it's your beard. Maybe you're static from your beard. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but something will happen where you move and then it'll just give me some kickback. It's weird, but hopefully it's not being recorded. So we'll find out on the episode, and then we might have to go back and make some adjustments or do a practice. We
Maybe
like to
it's the
practice.
bats. It's the bats, is what it is.
That could be it, man. Oh, dude,
Fucking bat country.
that just I mean right from the beginning, when Fear and Loathing starts, they hit you with that animation, and it's all like holy shit.
Hmm.
Like
Well, dude, and that's what's funny is both of these movies have references to bats too. It's
do we know
like
what the
even
bat
there's what's that?
do we know what the bat references are?
Oh, well, like what do they mean?
Yeah. Is there do
I
they
don't
have any? Let's see.
know. Well, like from where the buffalo roam, like the poster on IMDb is a big ass bat.
Bat, yeah. Yeah, I switched it because I had Bill Murray on it, and I was like, I really don't want.
Yeah,
I like the other one because I bought these movies. They're supposed to be here Monday, but they're gonna get here today, so or
yeah.
tomorrow. So I was like, oh, okay. If you do the Amazon, the regular, not the. I kind of just like ordering it sometimes and just letting it get here when it gets here. Let's see. Well, I mean, we got some trivia here on the IMDb, and it says Hunter S. Thompson wrote several alternate openings and endings for the movie, and none were which were used.
Which movie are we talking about? Fear and Loathing.
No, the first one, the Where the
Okay.
Buffalo Room. I'm gonna pick on that one for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, it does have a like huge ass bat above Bill Murray's head. What is going on with that bat? Let's see if we can find out. Martin Scorsese briefly considered directing this film with Jack Nicholson starring, but both ended up passing on the project. Well, how about what did you think about Bill Murray as Hunter S. Thompson? And then because I know that Johnny Depp hung out. They were friends. Him and Hunter S. Thompson became friends.
Yeah. Well,
Pretty cool.
okay. And but here's the trivia on where the buffalo roam. To get into character, Bill Murray spent time with Hunter S. Thompson by drinking, shooting, and generally having a great time at Thompson's Colorado ranch.
That's
After
awesome.
filming ending, Murray continued to act Gonzo through the beginning of the next season of Saturday Night Live, to the annoyance and consternation of the cast and crew members. So I feel like Bill Murray was probably a lot easier, maybe not easier going, but after this experience, he probably had a definite mind shift. Uh,
I'm thinking is that Johnny Depp meant older Hunter S. Thompson and Bill Murray meant younger Hunter S. Thompson.
mhm.
So Bill Murray probably couldn't hang or probably hung. He probably knowing Bill Murray.
No, well, I mean, he had to have hung, but I think it
Yeah.
just totally changed. I mean, not totally, but it definitely it probably changed his worldview on a lot of things, And I mean, what's if you said Bill Murray, what's the first movie that comes to mind?
Ghostbusters.
Okay, same. And then what would I mean? Caddyshack would be the next after that. And let's see here. Caddyshack was made
Me-
in 1980. So these movies came out at the same time.
I would say
So you,
Meatballs for me with Bill Murray.
oh yeah, that's
And
true.
that's around that time. I think no, it's 70. I think Meatballs is like 78 or something like that.
Let's
Let me
see
check. But keep
here.
going. Let me check.
Yeah, I think Meatballs is in the 70s.
Yeah.
So let's see here. 19 July 25th. So what was it?
79, yeah. Meatballs 1979.
79. So that was pretty much like the wet hot American summer for the 1970s. Um, you remember that movie?
Yeah.
Oh man, that one's a good one. They even had some Netflix
Yeah, they
uh,
brought it back.
specials with that. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Speaking of Ghostbusters, I saw a trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife yesterday that looked really good.
Everyone, yeah. So the same people crying online about the Masters of the Universe are now they're happy with the new trailer to Ghostbusters, but they were avid, pissed off, angry at the original one.
Oh,
Um,
the woman version or what?
yeah, no, 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 not the woman version. This one that the when this one that just came out, the Afterlife, when the first trailer came out,
Uh huh.
they were pissed off, and then now that this new trailer came out, they're like now they're looking forward to it. But there's something I picked up big time from this new trailer than this first one that came out.
Was it the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man?
Other than that, no. They did Janine's back, and then
Yeah.
you get to see a little bit of a arm of maybe Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, that
So
sounded like Bill Murray, bro. But they're all going to be in it. I
I
looked at
think it was Aykroyd.
IMDb. You think it was?
I think it's Aykroyd. Yeah,
No, no.
I think it
I
was Dan
think I
Aykroyd.
nah. I think
Let's
it.
do a side by side bet right here.
All right. No, that was Murray all day.
Okay. Damn.
I
What
don't.
movie?
I don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like
I'm with
Aykroyd
you.
is. He. I would say he's more known for Ghostbusters. Like if I had to put a face to Ghostbusters, it would be Dan Aykroyd. But that was Bill Murray's voice.
Well,
It
he wrote
sounded.
it, but do you want?
Yeah,
Let's see
that's
it.
what I'm saying.
Let's see it. I
Just
think I don't want
just
to
play
ruin the
it.
show. I don't want to ruin the show because I'd have to actually clean up my desktop. 'Cause I
No,
gotta.
no. All right.
Let's.
Well,
We'll do a side by side bet and we'll get back to you guys.
yeah,
And then we'll
yeah.
figure out the bet. So the bet is look. I'm already showing my addiction. It's like the bet is that Ben says that it's Bill Murray's voice on the voiceover, and I'm saying it's Dan Aykroyd's. We're doing a bet online so everyone knows.
Yep.
And we don't know what the prize is, but we'll find out. You
The
don't see the
prize is
face.
we get to see Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and oh
Ernie
gosh,
Hudson.
Ernie Hudson in a new Ghostbusters movie where they actually reprise their characters instead of having new goofy characters.
That
Um,
that Ghostbusters 3 was horrible though, man.
yeah, I didn't enjoy it. It didn't have.
Nah.
It was missing something, man. If
They
they
really
just
messed up with the way the way they did Bill Murray in that movie. It was
yeah. Well, and just the story too. Like it had the cast. It had everything it needed. Like I'm not opposed to Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy and Kate McKinnon and Leslie Jones. Like all four of those people. Yes, please have them in a movie. Uh, and it was kind of all over the place, man. It was just like
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't hit home like I was hoping it would, but it was a
I was
solid try.
I
And
wasn't
now
expecting that.
what's that?
I wasn't expecting it to at home. I was like, just entertain me or make me laugh. It didn't do those.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I wanted to feel like a Ghostbusters movie. It didn't feel like a Ghostbusters movie. It's like whenever Star Wars came out, whenever Marvel comes out, like Black Widow. Black Widow didn't feel like a Marvel movie, but it is like it still had aspects of it. You know what I'm saying? Like this, it just didn't have heart, and that's what you
Yeah.
need for a Ghostbusters. That's what made Ghostbusters so good. Was it just had that it it
Well,
it had a feel to it.
it's a sci-fi goofy movie, and
Yeah.
they didn't have that. They make you feel like you're. I mean, that's also technology. As you said, that ensemble's great. I mean, they work well together. And
Hmm.
then if anything with Bridesmaid gave you a great indication of what they can do, and what they can pull off. But that movie
Well,
it didn't have anything.
yeah. I mean, aside from Melissa McCarthy, all three of those women were on Saturday Night Live at one point or another.
Yeah.
And so they obviously have chemistry together. It's not a lack of chemistry. It's just
Yeah.
I think it was just it probably wasn't the best writing or the best direction. I don't know. There's just something off about that movie that just that's and it's kind of unanimous too. I don't think anybody was just like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest movie ever. Even South Park, they had jokes about it where Cartman was like, don't tell anybody that I didn't like the new Ghostbusters movie because women are funny. Women are funny, okay?
Yeah,
So
he has
it's
to kind of just sell. He has to just
yeah.
fake it. That's a good episode, actually.
And it's like a story that continues throughout the season because what he's dating Heidi or something like that.
That's true.
It's
Yeah,
like, no, no, Heidi, you're strong and you're funny. You know,
he finally gets a girlfriend.
talk about your
But
vagina. Like,
though the Amy Schumer, the thing about like Bill Murray's portrayal. Like I said, like Johnny Depp does look a lot like him, like closer to him because the whole hair thing already off the top of the head, but like just the look, but it's like the feel, the way he walks. I noticed that the shots where they have where the way he walks, I'm like that's how I feel he would walk. That's why I feel like it gives you that. I mean, you can watch Hunter S. Thompson interviews all day, but like just to see like I don't know a lot of the shit he makes up. I wonder if he's just like a creative writer as in journalism, because that happened to me. That's why I got out of journalism. I had a when I decided to focus on I was always taking classes at the community college. See, it's back. It's something. It's something's going on, man. I'm not. I don't know what's going on with this.
You're hearing it still?
Yeah, it's coming back. There it goes. The Gary's done. I feel like now, and Hunter S. Thompson is like, I feel like it's probably just me and my. He's just like messing with me. The bats they're everywhere. We're like
The fucking Met.
they're
Back
everywhere. Yeah,
country.
so I think yeah, he's just toying with me these early hours. Damn you, Hunter. You shouldn't be up. You just need to get 2 hours of sleep. You should. I should. But the what was I saying that? Sorry, I got sidetracked. No, but the thing with Johnny Depp as playing this like this trip. Man, I totally forgot I was going with this. Sorry, let's just keep going. The thing I did you do you know how Hunter S. Thompson died?
No.
That's pretty brutal, man. Um, so his death is he because he was big into sports, you know.
Hmm.
So I don't want to read it too, but yeah, he basically and this is he put a shotgun in his mouth and he Kurt Cobained it. His his reason though his motive was I think where he left like a yeah here we go here his I think he wrote I think because he had just got like his hip replaced or something like that. It was like a lot of stuff that happened to him, where his body was just shutting down. He was just tired of it. He was in a lot of pain,
Yeah.
but he he's suicide. So, um, he yeah I mean he's it just seems like that's the way he would want to go too. You know, like
Yeah.
just like a crazy badass. One thing I liked about what he said about Gonzalo and the Fear and Loathing was he said. Um, Too weird to exist in life, but too rare to die.
Hmm.
That's an awesome like saying, and I feel like a lot of us think we're that because we're told that, but we're really not. It's really hard to go through those points of life and those thresholds. I mean, just hanging out with him, I hated hanging out with people like that. I hated when I was trying to enjoy my high, and or just like drugs definitely help you like forget about shit, like not in a good way, like in a horrible way. They'll put a pause on your life for a little bit, but like they'll help you escape. But it adapts, it changes on you. It starts to attack you, or I don't know, just didn't work for me the same. Or you have to, I guess you have to play by its rules, and it's just a very very consuming thing to have that I guess impulse and learn to deal with it, learn to train yourself, learn to just kind of learn your outlets. And when I'm watching this movie, it's like your foot's on the throttle and you're just going. Like it's like you're on the accelerator on the Fear and Loathing, and where the other one it slows it down a little bit, and it's just also because it's made in 1980. Um, I like watching movies that were made before I was born because a lot of the actors are a lot younger that I grew up watching. I didn't realize I was like growing up watching a lot of people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and then you realize they started like someone started in teen and stuff. Oh, and then shout out to Craig T. Nelson's in this and the where the Buffalo Roam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Has he been? Is he a repeat offender?
I don't think so, not yet, but he's on our list now. He made the list. Any repeat offenders do we have here? We have a few, I think.
We have a few from Fear and Loathing. We have our jury duty offender who
Yeah,
also came back in
I
Casino.
I saw him. Yeah, I saw him. I go, you're not getting by me this time.
Nope.
Like I saw, and I forgot his name again. We're gonna have to tattoo that on my head. It's a big head, so it won't look that bad. He was yes, Richard Ryle, Dune buggy driver. He only has that scene, but he's in it. So we kind
So was and another thing too was that surely that didn't happen. That's just Hunter S. Thompson like imagining that, right?
oh that scene.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
because
That was trippy.
these guys are just like loaded, like armed to the teeth, like they had they had a deer on their hood and everything too.
Yeah, but also too, I took it as some things from Fear and Loathing that it's reality mixing with his imagination.
Yeah,
Because
yeah. Well,
there's a lot
and
there where I'm like, I think that's part of imagination, like because
I I think that part was. It has to
because
be.
he's also on hallucinogens. I'm not big on hallucinogens. I was more on into the uppers and then like painkillers. So with hallucinogens, I've done them, but I mean I didn't want to share the first time I did shrooms because it reminds me of the Tobey Maguire character in here, where
Hmm.
they just pick him up and then they like freaking scare the shit out of him. Hitchhiker is all his name, and then he's all albino looking too. It's trippy, right? Like
And his hair looks like it's falling out. Like it's
it's
weird,
yeah,
man.
it's like weird. It's like there, but it's not there. Like at some scenes, I feel like he has a he has a fuller set, or it's like more. But then like I feel like he starts sweating and maybe separates it or something. But it's insane how he just looks so weird. Like he looks. I feel like he looks whiter than he actually is.
Hmm.
Maybe
It's the
I don't
hair.
know. But it's like the first time I did mushrooms was probably in 2004, 2005 ish. I was living in Austin. I just got to Austin, and I was at yeah. Cause so it was an apartment complex. I think it was University Heights, where it looked the same. Like if you're, I didn't live in too many apartments, but I've always noticed the apartments I lived at, like one side looked like the other side. Like it didn't, you couldn't really tell which door was your door. Even you would get confused because the intro, I mean the entrance and the exit looked exactly alike. So sometimes people would there'd be a party on one side and they'd be coming knocking on my door like, hey, is a party here? And like, no, it's on the other side. So we walk back and forth and whatnot. So I'd always walk back and forth between my place and that place, the party house. And then one time I walked out. I was pretty drunk, and I went to my place to go like kind of chill out. And then after I started chilling out, I was like, nah, I'm losing my buzz. I gotta go back to the party. And I got up and I walked out my door, and there's these two dudes, very Dungeon and Dragon looking kind of guys, just hanging out outside my door. And I was like, what the hell are these two guys doing? And they're like tripping out on a frog, and these guys look at me and they're like, "Hey, man." I was like, "What's up?" He's like, "Do you want some mushrooms? You want to hang out with us?" I was like, sure, why not, strangers? And these guys were very like there were like no threat. Like I mean, if they had a gun or knife, yeah, it's different. And but it was more like this is more that hippie. Not, I don't want to say hippie because I don't. We'll talk about that later. But there's
Nah,
more of that
it's
like that joy in Austin that when I first got here, that's not here anymore. Um, that
the
or maybe it was
free,
because
free spirit, free loving.
yeah, that kind of free. Yeah, and it's kind of like I mean, it's probably here. I'm just older. I'm probably just bitter or something. But having these guys, I was like, sure. And they could have given me anything, and
Hmm.
I took it. And they're like, one of the guys like, hey man, I rented a car. You guys want to go for a drive? And we're like, sure. And then like it didn't hit me. I'm just like whatever. I'm still like I'm just a little buzzed now. So we get in this car, and it's like a white Impala. Look, there is Hunter S. Thompson talking to me again. And then what do you call it? We're in the car, and it's a four-door sedan. And back then, before they gentrified Austin 100%, back then I had this. And I think it worked every time. I was like, if you go, except and it doesn't work north to south, but if you go east to west in Austin, now it doesn't work at all. But back then, you could like just drive straight, and it kind of figure eight you back to where you started. Like it didn't matter as long as you went if you as long as you drove towards 35 east or west. Somehow you'd end up back towards your like like it route you back to where I was at. And I always did that. So I told these guys that, and they're like, "Well, let's see. Let's just go straight." And I told them, "Well, you can't go straight on 35 because you'll just go all the way to Canada." I go, "You got to use 183," and then so we got on Mopac. And as we started like elevating onto Mopac, I just remember feeling like my body kept elevating after I took the turn and got on and started driving. I was like, "Oh, I'm still floating." And they had their windows like down halfway. I had my windows all the way down, and we're listening. I don't know what music we're listening to, but we're listening to um like maybe just chill music, like more like just dun, dun, like maybe kind of Cure kind of shit, but not like I don't know. So we're listening, and I remember the music kind of fades out, and all of a sudden I feel like and somewhere my hair's a little bit longer, I feel like hands running through my head, and then I feel like a massage, like something like I don't know. I just felt like an angel or something. I don't want to say an angel, but like a goddess or something was massaging my back, and then started massaging my hair. And then I could see the guys looking through the mirror, and they're like, "Oh, dude, it started tripping you. It started kicking in." And I go, "Yeah, I think so." And the guy goes, "Just go with it, man. Go with it." And I just remember being in the car with these guys for like driving around for 4 hours in the backseat of this car, dude, just chilling. And then just like at the high of the high, just with these guys just chipping. Like we didn't even eat. This was actually this was my second time. Sorry, this is my second time I did shrooms. 'Cause I remember the first time I did, and I did something really stupid. I ate it with pizza. I was joking around. And I put it on pizza, and I
Hmm.
was like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat shrooms with pizza, mushrooms with pizza," and I ate it, and it made me throw up. I felt sick. I felt so gross. So this time I was like, maybe I should just try. So the second time I did it with these guys, I was like, okay, I know what the opposite, so I know not to eat. And I told them, I go, we're not gonna eat, right? Oh hell no, you never eat on shrooms. Like, oh yeah, yeah, I know that. And then as we were driving around, dude, it was such a crazy trip. And I'm like, I prefer that experience and that story over if I had to run into these fools, man. These guys, that's insane. Like someone having a gun like that, that's already just off-putting, man. Like someone
Hmm.
pulling a gun out like that, someone with a knife or just drugs. Like I don't know. Even if you are in like a different place in your life, where you're like mentally not fit right now or whatnot, like I still don't want to be around that. Just feels kind of it's kind of rough.
It's
I
just
wish.
like even in Fear and Loathing, man, when they're just like waving the guns around, it's like how'd you not shoot somebody? You
Oh,
know,
I
like
feel you.
how. In Where the Buffalo Roam, I mean, what in the first scene, he's over there shoot. I'm assuming that's his fax machine, right? Because he has his
Yeah,
phone hooked up to
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That was weird. That was weird, man. Like looking at that, I was like, oh, that must have been like the first fax machine. Um,
How do you feel about that?
I made me feel really young. Uh,
I like seeing stuff like that. I
Me
remember
too.
my mom's office. They still had those, you know. So I remember getting in trouble because I'd pull the spring out and the shit would shoot out, like the roll, and they were like, "Stop doing that." I was like, "That's so fun." And now my son does that to me. So um,
No, but I mean, even in that first scene where where the Buffalo roam, he's shooting at the fax machine and he holsters it and shoots again. He just kind of looks back. It's like, like it's amazing that they didn't do more damage to themselves and or others. I mean, obviously with his that's another thing too. I mean, I feel like him, the way he went out would be the way he would want to go, kind of.
yeah, as I was saying,
With
yeah, yeah,
yeah, I mean that does seem kind of poetic. And I was reading on the this is Wikipedia, so it's absolutely true. But
that had to happen.
yeah, right. They said that his son found him after he'd killed himself,
Yeah,
and then let's see. Juan Thompson found his father's body. According to the police report, He called Anita's cell phone records. He called the sheriff's office half an hour later, then walked outside and fired three shotgun blasts into the air to mark it the passing of his father. So, and that's another thing too. Is like at first I was like, man, that's really just kind of because there is his son and family were visiting there for the weekend and stuff like that. And I was like, man, that's really selfish, just to kind of shoot yourself while everybody's there. But then again, dude, like the way Hunter S. Thompson was, he was probably talking about it all the time.
I
He
mean,
probably had them prepared. I mean, if that's the first reaction that your son does, like goes out and I mean, obviously he was probably like, oh, like he was probably like devastated, but still, like you go outside and fire three blasts, like at that point, I don't even know, man. Like that just and like I said, with the father like Hunter S. Thompson, like you have to think that he was always talking about killing himself, something
well, I
like
don't
that.
know. I don't know if you'd want to talk to your children about that. Maybe he was open like that, but I mean, he is selfish. Because talk about being selfish. Yeah, I mean, come on, he got paid to go do jobs and he wasn't doing the jobs, and he still come back with like crazy shit. So that's
Yeah,
pretty
but
selfish.
it is, but
Ah, ah.
that's I don't know, man. Like and don't get me wrong, if I was those newspapers, I would be pissed. But I feel like the way he was going about life at that time, he was pretty much just like a middle finger to everybody. And I feel you. I feel you, buddy. Just like, what's it all mean? What's it all worth? Why do we put value here and there on this stuff? But that's the thing. That's why you like watching this movies and I'm assuming reading these books. I haven't read any of the books, so like I said, I'm just movie heavy with these two. But man alive, it just I don't know, it's just kind of a ride. It's like the other side of America, like if that makes sense. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you
There's.
have the
Are you
you
talking
have
about
the
the other side? Where?
50s.
Where
No, I'm
keep
just
going.
saying like you have the 50s versions of America, and like this is the 70s, man. Like this is um, you have all these people that are growing up right now, like, oh, the greatest generation. You have people that are you have the like oh shit, what else is it? I don't know, man. Like it's that carefree, not playing by the rules, not the cookie cutter kind of American story that you were used to seeing, but it happens. You just never experienced it. Like
I don't
that.
know. I
That
mean, we're talking about a guy that abused drugs. I abused drugs, so I kind of don't know. I'm kind of having a hard time following you. What you're trying to say? Because I'm just trying to say, like, I'm like, are you saying like about like in his time in his generation, like what he was going through? Because I see him as sticking out like a sore thumb, but then again, I wasn't around in the 60s or 70s, so I don't know what was popular and what was not, as in like trending. But I think whatever stays, right? Whatever, because
I, he wrote the what?
he wrote the book here, Fear and Loathing, on the campaign trail '72. So I think that's what really gave him a lot of recognition.
Yeah. Um, as
But are
far
you
as
saying like are you saying like from like that generation, like he's like his version of like I guess a like Da Vinci or Picasso, like in the for that that time?
sort of, I think he was just so wild and so like okay. So I guess one scene out of Where the Buffalo Roams kind of explain where I'm coming from is whenever he says I'm a doctor to that nurse. He's like, oh, do you want to donate blood? He's like, no, I'm here to get blood.
That's right. Yeah.
And he takes her blood and she just goes along with it. Like
What? But did he actually do that? Like I don't
it.
understand.
I mean, it
I don't.
looked like it,
I was
and
like, is he really? Because I don't see no blood. I didn't. Is he? But I'm like, I think is he faking it or what the hell's going on? Did he really just assault this woman like that?
that's what I'm saying. It's like she wasn't like, oh no, she wasn't. Oh no, don't do that. She wasn't yanking her arm away. And of course, like I said, this is a movie, so probably didn't. If somebody was doing that in real life, you would hope that you wouldn't just be like, oh yeah, take my blood. But that's the kind of sense that I'm getting is like everybody was just kind of watching this and they didn't necessarily know how to handle it. Whereas if he was doing that stuff today, people would be like, get the hell out of here. Get away from me. You're crazy meth head. Get away. Like uh that's kind of what I'm getting at is like yeah, I guess it was just of his generation. I mean, he was not necessarily a pioneer, but he was able to capture kind of the feelings of that time and of doing those drugs, doing LSD, tripping
Yeah.
on mescaline and all this other stuff. Um, yeah, I don't know if that answers your question. I feel like I'm kind of all over the
No,
place, but I
you
feel
kind of you shared enough. I'm just looking at yeah all the stuff you just said right now about the mescaline and taking stuff. I'm like, well, Stephen King. I'm tripping out like Stephen King and then Hunter S. Thompson. They can get super wasted and loaded and still function. Like I couldn't, man. I can't work and drink. I can't work and I couldn't work and do drugs. I couldn't. I was just like, like I couldn't do it. It was just weird. Like I go straight into party mode. I just didn't want to. I couldn't focus. And it trips me out how they're able to still articulate themselves. Stories of Stephen King locking himself in his closet and just doing cocaine and writing for like weeks on end is insane.
yeah
Like why could you do that to yourself? But I mean, they're going places, they're doing things other people aren't. But I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that are like, I mean, when I was going through my drunk phase, I wasn't like writing stuff down to be like, oh, this is the experience. I was more like using it to calm me or like help me out, get out of it. I could see some people like abusing things to kind of get through it. I mean, the movie in Fear and Loathing, it gets really dark with when he starts smoking the light bulb. That's
yeah
really bad. That's a really harsh drug. That's called it focal. Where I'm from, it's called focal. So that's another thing. When you say on the other side of the tracks, I'm like, I'm on both sides, so I kind of know what the other, like I get confused sometimes because I know through what I'm watching and what I've gone through. So what do you call it? Like focal is a really harsh drug, and that's just like chemical drugs, and that's what they were doing in the ether. Like that shit's
hmm
insane, man. Those are real hard. I don't do like that kind of shit where like I mean I don't know, it's kind of weird. Compare your drugs, your hardcore drugs. I'm like, well, household drugs will get you messed up, man.
yeah. Well,
It,
and that's where I think I think that's where I was kind of going with this. Like he was experiencing it for everybody, if that makes sense.
I
Like,
was kind of seeing more of an outlet, not really like a unity thing. Like I'm thinking more of an outlet for some people being like, I want to be like that, but I don't know how. And then he's like, well, look at this guy, look what he does. Well, maybe I don't have to go that insane. Maybe he's
Yeah.
on the right path.
Well,
Not really like he's talking for them. I think it's just because then you have a lot more Hunter S. Thompsons out there. I think it was just more like a trip to like because everybody's like this nowadays, so it's kind of hard to like really see who sticks out. No one really sticks out anymore. Back in the day, like when everybody was going to church on Sundays and slitting their
yeah.
hair down the middle, this was different. This was something odd. But with us, like we right now look at it like we have so many people, so many things. That's why I guess people get canceled so easy because there's just so many people to fill the spots.
Well, and there's a lot more prescription jokes too, that are curing the ailments of like that they weren't doing near as much of that back in the day. At least the prescriptions are like, oh, if you can't sleep, here, take this.
What do
Oh,
you mean?
what's that?
What do you mean talking about? I'm talking about like in the '70s, doctors would just write. They would just send out. You'd buy a prescription from them to see them. The doctor would tell you how much you need, and they cracked down a lot on that on the doctor pads and all that shit all over. I
Mhm.
mean, even Miami in the like '80s. If you ever see those documentaries, like any documentary on the of Miami in the '80s is always involving cocaine. Like
Yeah,
anything, it's just
cocaine
cocaine.
cowboys and everything.
And
Yeah,
then the Miami Hurricanes, and then you have like all those shows that were shot there. Like everything was just based on cocaine. So it shows you like their doctors are like that too. So with even like nowadays, I think now it's just insane that you can like you can get like a video conference and you can talk to a doctor and they can just prescribe you like you can just tell them like, oh, my foot hurts, and it's like, here, take this. That's insane. Like give you over the like they give you a prescribed drug.
yeah, but I
Like
mean, you have like Adderall and stuff like that, which is methamphetamine. I mean, it is. It's just controlled and prescribed, and I don't know, dude. Like that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. It's like I used to pop Adderall back in college just to party. It wasn't to focus or anything like that. You just got that, like you're over there just grinding your goddamn teeth, just like and drinking, and you could stay up all night. I mean, and back then I used to dip snuff too. I would just have a pinch of snuff. I mean, the next day my lip would be raw because I wouldn't take it out. I'd forget about it, and I just over there, and sometimes I'd use it for academic purposes, but more times than not, it was like, all right, we're going out tonight. All right, cool. Popping out a roll and go on. But and that's the like I said, what do they say? It's like one chemical strain away from meth that you get off the street kind of thing. Like,
I don't know who they are, but I think that sounds right.
yeah, and so, but I believe it. Like, I totally believe it. And that's what I'm kind of getting at is like you and of course it wasn't prescribed to me anything like that. It wasn't like I was going and getting
Nah,
prescriptions.
dude,
This I was buying it off of people that did get prescriptions,
how
but
much?
they also went in and they would be like, these are my symptoms, and then they would just give them the drugs like you
Yeah.
said.
Well, like
So
I mean, it was like back when I was in college and at Texas State, like people just buy. I think they were $10 a pop, and then when finals come around, I didn't do Adderall. I didn't like Adderall. And then they're $15 a pop because I remember that was a big deal during finals and midterms. People were like, I need Adderall, I
yeah,
need Adderall, I'm like, why don't you just fucking study? It's just like you're here.
well,
Like
dude, just
I'm
like
partying.
it puts your brain on overdrive, man. Like
No,
you're
I
over
get
there,
it.
like
I get it. I think it actually has to do with anxiety too. I think people that are bad test takers, when they take that, it just hyper focus on where they're not actually focusing on the test. That they're actually able to like focus on the shit, on the product. Where if you don't, because I mean, I found this out. People know how to. There's test takers, people that just know how to test well, and there's also people that just don't test, that don't know how to, that don't like it brings something to them. So I feel like that's what it is. I'm not saying I don't know. I don't know anything, but I think that's what I'd gathered because I was like, man, these people, like some of these people, I really like. You're on Adderall, like to for school. I was like, that's trippy. That was trippy to me, man. I didn't know. Like I was like, this is coke. It's like this is what
yeah,
it does. But even like that, I remember they're like, because people would be pissed off, and I mean, being from the border, I remember one time this guy, when he found out I was from the border, he was like, "Yo, bro, let's go down to the border, go out in Mexico, I'll pay for all your stuff." And I was like, I got my own money, but that's kind of weird that you want to do that. And then what I found out later was he wanted to go buy Xanax, and he would buy it for $75 for a whole bottle, and he would sell it for 500 over here.
Jesus,
So
yeah.
that's what so he wanted to go down with me and help him bring shit back. I'm like, nah, fuck that. I ain't fucking with that shit. And but I mean, I was like, damn. Back then, I mean, that was easy. Now it's like impossible. But I mean, there's still ways, but
Yeah.
you got to pay for those ways. But I think like with the way people are just handing out prescriptions. Honestly, dude, our generation, like the beginning of millennial, it's like kind of seems like our parents didn't want to hang out with us, so they just kind of gave us like oh he has too much energy, and it's just like well you're probably tired because you're not taking care of yourself, parent, and then you're kind of saying stuff over here that they're kind of like the give them this like pill to calm them down. I think just kids have a lot of energy,
Yeah.
and I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have a lot of energy. So if I'm around a kid with a lot of energy and they want to run, I'll run. I think about the opposite. What if there's a parent that doesn't like to do that and they have a kid that wants to run? Maybe they don't want to run. Or maybe I become super annoying or more annoying because my kid doesn't want to do anything that I want to do. They're like, I just want to chill. I just want to sit on this couch and just read. And all you want to do is run around. I'm like, oh, okay, never. It's all. How can we be on the same page? And then I always feel anything when you had drugs. And I mean, this is just my experience. I don't speak for other people. But I just feel like it helps you kind of escape. It helps you just get out of the moment.
Yeah.
And I get that a lot with these guys. They're never really I don't know. Actually, I'm
Sober.
talking about yeah, they're not sober, but they're never really like they're not there. You're not on the same page ever with anybody. And now I'm starting. I got mad at Benicio del Toro, but I mean this is the '80s, so they're gonna put Pure Boyle as a Mexican American. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
they got
Well,
it closer.
I don't know if you noticed that too, but he's top billed in Where the Buffalo
Yes,
Roam
before Bill Murray's name, and then Bill
before
Murray's
Bill
on the.
Murray.
I noticed that. I was like, I know. My thing was, did I blink? Did I miss Bill? I go, no, it's probably Peter Boyle's top build, and sure enough. And I want to talk about where the Buffalo roams, and I've always enjoyed this actor, Bruno Kirby. He's the
Hmm.
like art director or the journalist, the guy in charge,
Editor in
editor,
chief,
editor chief, right? Dude, his
probably. Yeah.
acting, like I didn't even realize he looks super young in this movie.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, he did pass away at the age of 57 in 2006, so he's been gone a minute. He was born 1949. So if he was alive today, what would he? Oh, and side by side math at 20, so he'd be 77, or whatever. So let's
Yeah.
see. Uh, he was in. I wanted to because he's also in City Slickers, and that's
Yeah.
where
He was.
that's
He was in. What did I say? The Godfather Part Two.
and then
Was
Donnie
that what it was?
Brasco because he's the guy that got shot in the head when I thought it was Mickey who got shot in the head, like that. Remember, he's the one that in Donnie Brasco when they're doing
I
the.
haven't seen Donnie Brasco. I'm
Oh, you
sorry.
haven't seen it? Oh, sorry, I ruined it for you. Yeah, he's in Donnie Brasco. Check it out.
Are you okay?
Um, let's
I
see.
don't remember it.
I won't remember. You're gonna tell me, hey, Donnie, he was in Donnie Brasco. You got shot. um, I think he's in a lot of TVs, but his role in this movie is I liked him. Like it was like he was a young guy. He looks like a young guy in this. He looks like he's eager to get it, and then here's this older dude that just kind of like doing his own shit, doing what he wants to do.
Yeah. You know, um, he really looks familiar too. I feel like there's something else I'm missing him in. Um, or at least that picture on IMDb, like that just sticks out for some reason. But what I was gonna say, man, is the in Where the Buffalo Roam, where um that whole scene where they're in the courtroom and Laszlo's trying to get those kids off. He's like one joint, like that's all it
Oh
was,
shoot!
and then he's like, and then he got caught with a pound, and it's like 5 years to life. It's like, whoa, man, like that. And
That's
what
fucked up,
this,
man.
yeah, man, and this movie came out in 1980, so they were even commenting on that like back then. Um, and nowadays, man, it's like really, I don't know. I feel like it's even more so now. It's like, why do we have people locked up for marijuana charges? Why do we have people locked up for nonviolent crimes? And back then it was just because they were, first off, you have the war on drugs, right? And I don't know if they had privatized prisons back then. I'd like to say no, but I very well could be wrong. But that's definitely what it feels like today. Is like the whenever you have privatized prisons, like the more inmates I have, the more money I make. So that's why you want to continue doing, having nonviolent offenders coming into this the
Well, yeah, because the
system to
people
where,
it keeps the lights on. It keeps
yep,
the reason for them to get a payment. Did you know that Bob Barker is supplies the prisons with their supplies with all their goods? When we were
like, what do you mean?
Bob
What
Barker, the
goods?
the like the soaps, the towels, all that shit. One time I was in the back. I was doing some community service, and this guy was with, man. This guy was with, fucking talk about energy. This guy was just all over the place. I was like, no wonder you're in here. They need to know where the fuck you're at. What do you call it? He was like, "Do you see all this Bob Barker shit?" And we were like, "What? Bob Barker?" And he just showed the comb had Bob Barker on it. The soaps had Bob Barker, and it was made by Bob Barker. And I was like, "Holy crap!" Like he's in this again. He goes, "Yeah, he's a privatized. He's like he finances this stuff." I was like, "Oh, that sucks." It's like he's over here
Right.
telling me the spade and neutered. I mean, privatized. I mean, it sucks. I mean, we don't remember. We were this movie was made before we were born, so we don't know how it was back then. And
Oh, we could
it
probably look it up, but still.
nah, like yeah, like it's gonna what you're looking up on
Well,
Wikipedia, and it's gonna be
right.
100% accurate. No, what I'm saying is we don't know how it was back then. So for us to assume is one thing, but to us to know, it'd be like, well, it's marijuana. Yeah, we know that now. We have states that legalize marijuana, but back then, you mean, come on, they're coming from out of the cave. We're barely hitting the light, you know. And
Yeah.
people nowadays are already full in the light, and they think like, well, you weren't, you were exposed to the light right away. You never were in the dark in the tunnel. So these people are coming out. So I see how, like, it just trips me out though with the marijuana thing. Like I didn't smoke weed until I was in my 30s. So like to me to really like to see like somebody always get in trouble for that, I didn't have to worry about it because I never had weed on me. Because and also what annoys me about the way they did really try to always make fun of like or by put criminalize weed and marijuana, how they'd say like some so and so got a DWI and also had marijuana in his system. And I was like, well, that person drank, so you know that because it takes an hour for you to lose one drink. It takes an hour for your body to pass it. That person was out for 2 hours, drank 8 drinks, so obviously they're wasted. But the marijuana, he had it like a week ago. It sits in your fat cells, like it stays there. Why would that have anything to do with it? That guy could have smoked right then, or he could have smoked a week ago. You know, that was before I smoked. I knew that. So,
Yeah.
but it was always like what the hell? Why do they do that? Why do they try to criminalize it? Why do they try to like? And it's because they want it. There's money in that, and they want to keep people in prison. And I mean, that was bullshit, dude. I mean, you even you see it for like that guy, and that's a guy that you're kind of like he looks like a little privilege there, you know, like,
Yeah.
and it seems like they're gonna kind of do that. But what do you call it for that? Like those the harsher sentences and whatnot. It's just you know. I was always told innocent till proven guilty. Now it's more like guilty till proven innocent. If you know, and I'm always like, what does a cop actually know? Like, you know, the Gary Busey scene is trippy, man. I didn't even realize that was Gary Busey. I heard the voice, and then I was like, wait a minute, is this Gary Busey? Like, and
Hmm.
then he goes, I'm lonely out
Oh,
here.
repeat offender. Repeat offender.
Gary Busey?
Yeah.
Oh God, what am I forgetting him from?
Black sheep.
True, that's right. Yeah, he said that's the way he wanted to go out. The Gary Busey, what do you call it? Yeah, man, we have a list now. I have to like I had to catalog some of these people, and I
I
missed
know.
one. Look at that. Good thing you got them. But like even Gary Busey as that lonely sheriff, like it trips me out. Like I'm like, damn, he's just a cop out there. Like he's a sheriff, but he's like lonely and shit. You know, like,
And he's like, "Can I get a kiss before you go?"
and then you
Like
don't get the
just
you don't even know what kind of kiss. You just it's ambiguous. You're just like, what happened?
yeah, dude. Like yeah, that whole scene was very strange and is so funny too. Is because he's explaining to you the entire time. It's like this is how you deal with a cop, you know. And it's like, no, you just pull over. You just pull over. He's like, no, no, no. That's for any simpleton. And so he's just like he guns it and then says, "I'm gonna go left." And he's like, going over here to talk." Like that whole scene was just very
What
very
did you think?
strange.
What did you think about the narration? Did you like that kind of
Uh,
aspect
in
of the story?
in Fear and Loathing,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I thought it
oh
was good
yeah.
too. I
Uh,
enjoyed it.
it,
Kind of
it
it does kind of it directs you, but it's like two parts. There's two stories going on at once. What you're seeing, what you're hearing.
yeah, and what you're seeing in Fear and Loathing, man. I mean, like, uh, even in the scenes that aren't like crazy trippy, where you don't have reptiles and shit like that dancing around. I mean, it's still, man. It's the lighting. The lighting in some of the scenes is just like,
Oh
whoa,
yeah, dude.
man. Like,
Let me see where we're at real quick. All right, I'm gonna put. I've been watching Where the Buffalo. I'm gonna put Fear and Loathing on, and let me trip out even harder, real quick. My scene. Which so you like? Does there a scene that sticks out to you in Fear and Loathing?
um, yeah, probably when he's checking in is one that always kind of stuck with me the most. And he's talking to that lady on LSD, and he's just like, I don't know, I don't know. You know, he's trying to talk, but he can't. And that eel comes out of her head,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, that was cool.
that always just kind of stuck out to me. That and then that's really one moment that's just like bam, uh, and then that's whenever his LSD is like really
Yeah.
starting to kick in. Um,
If there's I'm sorry to interrupt, man. If there's no
no, no, go for it.
clicking on the final footage of I'm gonna trip out, man, because it's like there's certain things that we're talking about when it goes off, and I'm starting to see a pattern here, but maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm in my head. Maybe I'm see something. There was a movement there. There it is again. There. Keep going, man. I'm gonna ignore it. But if it comes out on the final thing, it's gonna be trippy because it's like out of all the movies we've done, of course it'd be
That was
pretty
me,
crazy.
just in case.
Okay. Like, God dang.
Is that what it sounds like though?
Yeah, it sounds like that.
I
Yeah, that's
swear
what
I'm
it
not
sounds like.
screwing with you.
But
I swear.
it sounds very light, but it's there. You can hear it.
Is it like an echo or what?
Kind of. It feels like a.
Uh,
I don't know. It's like Connor's trying to come into me, trying to talk to me. But I did like. I don't have really a scene, but I mean the last scene I didn't like that because I've experienced something like that where I was a huntress and I was with some people that were like grotesque like that. Not to that point with the knife and all that, but just like when the way he said, two ice water with ice. I thought that was a funny joke, but then the way he's ordering it, I'm like, dude, like I don't know, I grew up with manners, but at the same time, not supposed to bother me because that's like look where they're at, you know, they're at the freaking at the end. They're and it's in Vegas. Vegas is another repeat offender. We love
yeah.
Vegas here, and I'll say this much that they are like a North Vegas, which is like you don't want to be there. Like that scene where it goes straight to that guy getting beat up. It's like yeah, you don't want to be around at those hours. And he's right. He's like no one's gonna mess with you because no one should. But the way Gonzo was like that, it's like ugh. And then now I'm finding out he's Mexican American. Like, yeah, I could totally see that shit. Um, but one thing I did like about Fear and Loathing are all the cameos, or all the people that are in it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't know. I don't want to miss anybody. There's a lot, but I mean, you got Vern Troyer's in it,
Mm-hmm.
and he just plays that little guy that goes under the he plays the little guy that goes under the
Well, I love it.
Thou Love It's in it. Look, check out this. Look at Penn Jillette. It's
Mm-hmm.
got Cameron Diaz, Lyle Lovett, Flea. I mean,
Yeah.
Flea's in it. I want to make a. I hope there's no documentaries on Flea. I want to make a documentary on Flea's acting career. Like he's got a longevity. We got Gary
Needles.
Busey. Yeah, Nat Needles, McFly. Christopher Molini. I love him as just all these random characters he plays in movies.
Who's that?
That's Christopher Molini. He plays the check-in at the hotel, like I guess you would be. I would call the gay guy and the
You talk. Yeah, he was in. He's from Law and Order,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's him. Yeah, because he's also in
Yeah,
Keep It Warm.
that scene also made me laugh too. Is whenever that cop and his wife are just like the cop is just yelling, his wife's crying and everything. And he just walks up, he's like, "Oh, sorry, ma'am. No,
Hey,
you have a good day."
that chief guy's gonna be a fender, man. He comes out on a lot of stuff. He's a great
Yeah,
actor. I mean,
yeah.
you still got Christina Ricci. You got Michael Jeter. Remember Michael Jeter?
Michael Cheater. Like I said, these names are sounding familiar.
Okay,
Let
so
me go
he's gonna
through
be
that.
Jurassic Park 3.
Oh yes. He was talking about that. You can be hip,
Yes,
or you
that's the
can
guy. That's
be. Yeah.
I like the way we got to play
We
games like
have.
that where I say an actor you don't know or actor or actress you don't know, and then I got to try to find how many guesses I can guess where you get in the first try. So that was one
Yeah.
point. That would be like
M-
5 points if you get in the first
Mark
try.
Mark Harmon is also in this.
Mark Harmon is in this thing, and I remember Mark Harmon when I was a kid, but I recently remember Mark Harmon because of Stupid Family Guy. Mark Harmon is cool, Lois. Mark Harmon. It is
I
that
dude
picture.
in NCIS man, that's Gibbs.
Oh, that's
That
true. Do you watch those
he,
shows?
I did. Like my dad used to watch him all the time, so I just kind of saw him, in passing and stuff like that. I mean, if I wouldn't
He's
I
no,
wouldn't even be like,
it's
oh, can we change the TV? No, that wouldn't
is it
happen.
Caruso? David Caruso is the guy that pulls his glasses down and goes, "You dead meat," or something like that, right?
Yeah, no,
She's
that was CSI Miami. See, yeah, I know what. Yeah, we
Ellen
got a
Barkin is
case
in
of
this.
boner
Yeah.
death. Like
Let's just say he was ejected, erected.
what was that off of like Forgetting Sarah Marshall? And it's like they kind of
Oh
had like a
yes,
spoof with that with the Baldwin brother.
yeah. He's the yeah. Billy Baldwin plays the co-star.
Yeah,
Billy Baldwin. Yeah, he has quite a few. Oh yeah, and then actually Hunter S. Thompson is actually in Fear and Loathing. He comes out.
yeah.
Is he in Where the Buffalo Roam?
I don't
Oh
think
my god!
so.
And there I am. And he's like he shows himself. You
Mm,
also
here
have
I
Harry
am.
Dean Stanton from Aliens. He's in this. Christina Ricci is Lucy. We did bring up Tobey Maguire.
Hmm.
There are quite a few like actors and actresses. Tim Or is it Thormerson? He was a B sci-fi actor. I liked a lot of his movies. Um, Larry Cedar, the freaking car rental guy. Michael Warwick. Yeah, they got a lot of characters, a lot of actors in this movie that I was like, hmm. So we might have some repeat offenders down the line.
So no, he was not in Where the Buffalo Roam. He did. I mean, of course, he did write it. But let's see here. Yeah, he was just in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Oddly enough, man, as a on his filmography, on his writing credits, he only has six: The Rum Diary, Gonzo, which was a documentary, Nash Bridges, um, Woman Found Dead in Elevator, Fear and Loathing in Las. Oh, never mind. I thought I didn't. My bad. I didn't think he had Fear and Loathing on there. I was like, that's weird that he didn't take credit for that writing on that movie. But it was literally it's Where the Buffalo Roam and then Fear and Loathing. So almost 20 years later is his writing credits for movies. You know what I'm saying?
Gonzo, Portrait of Late Gonzo journalist Hunter S. Thompson. Oh, I think I might
Yeah.
have seen this, dude. I honestly think I might have seen this. And I think that's why I know of him. I know enough of him. Like I can carry a conversation, and people start telling me the stuff he's done. I'm like, yeah, I remember that. But I was like, how do I know? I think I do remember this because when I was doing lab rat stuff, I remember those. My buddies were definitely talking about like Hunter S. Like yeah, like who's yeah. So I said it was Tucker Max, Hunter S. Thompson, and Dane Cook were the three like names we kind of bring up a lot. Not they didn't pass away not too long ago, 2005. So
Yeah.
not too. I mean, it's been time, but he was 67, Aspen, Colorado. Um, I don't. This movie is not just a trip; it is a trip. Oh, this is what I wanted to talk about. When I was looking up Where the Buffalo Roam, I came across a Siskel and Ebert review, and I
Mm.
saw their show, and I was like, "Oh, that's a cool little show they got." I forgot how they did their show, but I was laughing because I believe his name is Siskel. Is he's confused about where the buffalo roam. The way he analyzes it, the way he breaks it down,
Hmm.
he's thinking he doesn't understand that it's a trip that you're going on. And on the first one, I feel it's still a trip, but it's more of a you're just seeing a bunch of the chaotic shit that's going on that normal people don't go through, especially at that time. Like not a
Yeah.
lot of people are seeing. And then in the interview or in the review, he's like, I was expecting a hangout session with Hunter S. Thompson. What I got was this just ramble. It's like craziness. I'm like, well, that was the whole point of the movie.
Well, watch Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas right after this one, buddy. You'll you
Yeah, I
think
mean
that one?
it's an old review. It's from the '80s when the video
Yeah,
came
yeah.
out.
I'm just
Oh,
saying, like, as soon as Fear and Loathing, he's like, oh, okay, got it.
yeah, and that's what I was saying because I feel like if you really wanted to get a little bit more into Hunter S. Thompson or just kind of like this whole like trip, like if you watch the first one, you're definitely getting a feel of the of
Yeah,
the, the gentleman, and this one is just really, definitely what he's going through on his trips. He's tripping
yeah.
balls the whole time, Terry Gilliam style.
I guess that does make sense. Where he's like, it is kind of like all over the place and everything. It's following the life of. So that I kind of I can understand where he comes from there. You know what I'm saying? Like in Where the Buffalo Roam, like it's all over the place. Whereas in Fear and Loathing, they're in Las Vegas. You know they're in Vegas. You know that's the central location, and
Yeah,
then you just get this crazy story revolving around this town. Um, so okay, I I understand where he's sort of coming from now. Whenever you were talking about that review, it does make
yeah,
a little bit of sense.
yeah. See, and it's like but it's but I would say it's a story. It's more like easier to follow the first one, but it's
Oh
because
yeah,
but it's also a trip though. It's not just I mean the way the advancement in 18 years from 1980 to well you know what I found three things on this date of this movie. When was Fear and Loathing? I found two things that said 97 and then IMDb says 98.
it says 98 on IMDb for sure. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
let's
and
see
then
here.
on
And May 22nd, 1998 was the U.S.
okay, so
release.
on Amazon it has says 97, and then I forgot where else I looked. It said 97. I was like, when was this movie made? Because I do notice that it's easy that thing called the typo that anybody can do, but nobody likes to admit that they mess up these days. So it might be a typo there they need to check on. Because I don't know. It's just if you're gonna do it, just do it. At least do it right. You only gotta do it once. It did it did talk to me about. I mean, I've learned through Mesos, but I'm not Amazon. And I'm not trying to talk bad about any Amazon or Amazon. I'm sorry, Amazon. Please don't hurt me.
Yeah,
um,
don't send us to space, Amazon.
yeah, don't send me to space
Um,
on that cock rocket. Um, it's just I don't know why people are calling it a PP. It's freaking Jeff Bezos' head. Duh.
yeah.
That's all it is.
Okay, so it's synonymous with wiener.
No, if you want to look at it like that, you know what I mean. But it's just literally the top of it's his head, like his head.
Dude,
Just
have you not seen Austin Powers? Like the similarities are there. Come on, bro.
life. I totally forgot about that. Life does repeat. Art does repeat life, but life repeats art. And what the hell? Like, we cannot think of anything else. Like, are we just repeating everything? Like, you really just like I didn't. I just realized that
Yeah.
nobody's made. Has anybody made memes on that shit?
Oh fuck yeah, dude. Sorry.
I don't.
Here, let me see. I could probably scroll through my Facebook and
No,
see at
I'll just
least.
do it real quick, man. Just real quick. I'm just gonna put. I mean, this is more about Hunter S. Thompson, but this has been. It's gonna be a trippy episode. So let's see. Jeff Bezos rocket memes. Let's see what they got. I'm just gonna kind of check them out real quick. Oh, there it is, right there. It's already the third one. It says. It shows. It shows the. It shows Jeff Bezos, and it shows Doctor Evil, and it shows the the
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Bezos. It shows it right. They literally made this thing, dude. Like,
I'm telling you,
it looks as Ellis missing is the ball.
the balls. Yeah, they're and dude. Whenever before they had all those memes, there's like a TikTok with that whole scene in in Austin Powers. Like it's a huge Johnson, like
Oh
they.
yeah, yeah.
Oh man, that scene is great. Love those in those movies. Like melons, get your melons.
Oh god, when they just play on words with
Mm-hmm.
visuals.
Yep.
That shit is funny, man. I mean, Austin Powers is really good at that. I don't get tired of that. When I hear people say like, once again we get the same thing, I'm like, nah, it's different though, and he's doing it. They're doing it creative. They're not really just doing the same exact stuff. I mean, some people do. They do jump the shark or whatnot. But in those Austin Power movies, they're all a little different. Because the characters he creates and he changes are completely different. Gold member, I likes gold. Um, this is the I just this shit. I can't believe it's like, am I dreaming? Am I on my trip? Am I tripping out again? What the heck's going on? Are y'all taking crazy pills? So this, check it out. Heads up. The death to Smoochie.
Death to Smoochie.
It's a rocket ship. It's a cock. It's not a rocket. It does look at that thing, dude. Look at that
Yeah.
thing's insane. That's it. That's I don't understand. Are you joking? Are you making fun of? Do you become so rich that you're like, I'm just gonna fuck with people. I'm gonna make
Yeah.
the Sims in real life. We're gonna have Sims and we're gonna make people think they can do this stuff. We're gonna make people's houses stock market, stock value, and then we're gonna let a lot of I was insane, dude. I mean, if that's a better design, and if it was like the people in Austin Powers actually win and we're like, hey, this design actually works better, but we're just gonna add these balls here to make it look like a joke, then yeah, that'd be one thing. But I think they totally went for the balls and dick joke. They didn't even do any research on that.
No, I don't think they did. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like every spacecraft looks like a kind of a dick. Just, I mean, hell, even the Washington Monument looks like a dick. Come on, let's be real.
Dude, the Millennium
If
Falcon does not look
anything,
like a dick.
what?
The Millennium Falcon does not look like a dick.
I didn't. Did I? Oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
You know what it,
Every
you know
every
what it looks
every
like?
every
No,
spaceship that came from planet Earth
no, you know what it
looks
looks
like a
like?
dick.
No, you know what it looks like? It looks like
Oh,
this.
let me see.
You
Oh
know, it
my
has a little
god.
cockpit and it has the top for it. That's what the Millennium Falcon looks like.
Oh man, what's my hand doing? I'm gonna do it with this.
Yeah. See, that's a Millennium Falcon. You see,
Wow. Can
that's
we make any spaceships without making some kind of
sexual
sexual?
gestures.
Yeah, I
That's
don't know, man.
I was like, yeah, I don't think you like. It doesn't
Hell,
look
even
like
they
dick.
even had that alien show V, right? Like
That's true.
yeah,
It was just this.
V.
That's
Look,
like
Vulcan. Like what's up with
oh no, that's
space?
no, it was a V, but it
Yeah,
was
I know.
like wait, it was just like this. Like it was just I think that's the credit goes like that. It's right in your face. I did catch up on some animation. I did watch Star Trek. The what's it called? The
Oh, the
Lower
Prodigy.
Decks.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, the lower decks, the animation one. That's pretty funny. I was like, oh crap, this is cool, and it's Star Trek.
Yeah.
That's awesome, and it's modern.
Yeah.
Like this is.
And so yeah, I've been watching some animation too. It's called Star Wars: The Bad Batch, and it's awesome as well because it's Star Wars,
Is it
and
in? Is that on Disney?
it is. It's yeah, it's on Disney Plus. It's kind of a continuation of the Clone Wars story. Um, so set between episodes 2 and 3, they have like a bunch of missions that they went on, and
Ah,
so Disney Plus had the last season of Clone Wars, the last season of Clone Wars, um, where they actually butted it up into Revenge of the Sith and Order 66, and then Bad Batch is after that, and it has its own little storyline, but it connects characters from all parts of the Star Wars universe. It's actually I've thoroughly enjoyed it. A lot of people are kind of giving it hell because they're like, oh, this is too kiddie, and I'm like, yeah, it's meant for kids, but I don't know,
and
I'm
this is the
enjoying it.
part of our segment where Ben and I just revealed that we didn't lose our virginity. Still, we were already 20 years old.
Hey, who would have thought?
And
Who
those are
would have
facts.
thought that? Yeah,
Um,
fact.
nah, but no, that is. I was like, you're informing me, and I'm like, maybe we should. Um, how do we segue this in? I was like, because I want to know more. You're right. I was like, you're bringing me in. Hey, like I said, I'm a wars. I'm a track guy, man. And if you make me choose, I don't choose. I just kind of watch the movies. Come on,
Yeah, you
I
don't
pick.
choose. You just put your hand up in a V. I get it.
Hey, I only do that because how do you do the Rebel Alliance? Hold on. To our viewers out there, how do you do it? There.
Right there, buddy. That's what you say to the Empire. All right. Actually, you know what's funny is I say the Rebel Alliance. I'm with the Rebel Alliance, but this is my mouse pad. My PlayStation has Vader on it. Uh, Whenever I had my Ford Escape, I decked it out Star Wars, and it was all Vader. So if anything, I may be an Empire guy. I don't know, but
Well,
it's just
I'm not gonna.
maybe me.
Villains are written cooler, so villains are.
Sometimes, yeah,
No, they're. I mean, they're always the villain is always cooler than the hero, man. You gotta have that opposite end that makes that hero want to be. You know, I mean,
yeah. I mean,
I mean, sorry, not say all the time. You're right. You're right. You're
no,
right.
no, no. I
But
was
I'm
just no.
saying
I was just trying to think. I was like, yeah, you're kind of right. I was trying to think of a hero that's cooler than the villain
no, but you're right though because now they're
because the
writing more
hero normally
villains.
has to like come up. You want to have that hero
Yeah.
journey where they're not
So
as
and
huh.
then nowadays they're having more the hero be the badass cool one, and the villains is a dumbass, and
Well,
that's
now
not
they
how.
try to make the hero a villain or
Yeah,
the
or the
villain a
villain. Yeah, they want
hero. Kind of like with
see.
Joker, like Joker's a villain, but you want him to be the hero kind of thing.
Well, it's because
Like
it
I
feels
don't
bad
know.
because you're
That's
kind of
that's
rooting
me.
for him because you can relate to him, but at the same time you're like, I'm not gonna kill anybody. I mean, it's also like these two movies. You watch Fear and Loathing, and it really like if you've never done drugs, and you're like, I don't want to, I don't because of that movie, I don't ever want to do drugs, and that to my extent, that might be a good thing,
Yeah,
or it might be something to be like, hey, I've been in that trippy situation so much, and you're laughing about it, and you realize, oh, I've been doing that for 10 years, maybe I should stop.
yeah,
It's like like I like to talk about Clean and Sober, Michael Keaton movie. I remember watching that movie when I was a child, and then just it was way ahead of me, so I just remember watching it because I like Michael Keaton. And then I remember in the midst of all my chaotic time, I watched that movie and it really I was like, oh crap, I'm doing all the shit he's doing. It's just kind of stuff like that, where you
yeah,
tend to be like more like, am I bringing the real like we talked about art, just with the rocket ship, art imitating life, and sometimes it helps you like be like, oh, that's a joke, but also you can find things out of a joke, or
hmm
you can there's just so many things. But I mean, I don't know. I got back into collecting Transformers again, and I've only gotten villains so far. So got me here. I don't know where to put him. It's a little big. We got an Astro Train here.
that sounds like a sex act.
Yep.
Um, sorry.
He is versatile. He transforms. He does. He transforms. Oh my god! Look, this is what a rocket ship is supposed to look like. Bezos. Look at that. He transform. He can transform into a rocket or a train, so he's versatile. But those two things, I think,
Yeah,
is
yeah. The only reason that rocket ship doesn't look phallic right now is because it's on its side. All right, it's
all right.
flaccid.
It's
It's a
flash. All right,
flaccid
all right.
rocket.
We might be on. Sorry for everyone that really want to be into Hunter and Thompson. We might have this is side by side. We don't know what we're doing. We just go with it. I think we caught something. All right, names. All right, I got two more villains. They're right behind me, and then I think you're
Let's see what else I can make out of these guys.
All right. How are you gonna? How are you gonna? All right, Mr. Benjamin.
Yeah, give it to me.
How are you
Oh,
gonna? We also have Starscream.
yep. Uh huh.
I don't have Megatron, but that sounds kind of.
Yeah.
Oh god. And then
Don't
we
worry,
have.
Megatron's here. Like I'm saying, like if there was a Transformers porno, like you could totally use it. Don't worry, Megatron's here. You're just like, "Bruh,"
We should
like
write the
those.
Orgasmo Transformer combination movie. And now check this out. You can't. You cannot. There's no way you can do this.
Okay.
Sound wave. That does not sound. But I will tell you, he
Did you
comes
say
with.
Soundwave butt? There he
No,
is.
I will
All
say
right,
this.
cool.
No, I will say this. His name's not very vulgar, but you got to go by his actions because this guy doesn't talk too much. But he rolls around with two little cassette tapes inserted in him at all times. So
One in the
yeah.
front, one in the back. Got it.
So he's the millennium talking. Zing. So
If only he
um.
had three, he could fit two in the back, one in
Oh
the front.
God, we're finding stuff out about just rocket ships and maybe it is maybe the balls just kind of help it with more gas or more.
Dude,
But the names that
what if rocket ships are meant to look like penises because we came from Mars and that's the birth of humanity. And we're
well,
trying to get back and we're trying to impregnate the world of the universe with our own shit.
you know what
We're
for
the sperm. We're the sperm in the rocket ship, bro.
and any other episode this would be trippy, but this is the Hunter S. Thompson episode,
I'm
and I'm
telling
pretty
you,
sure
man.
he did talk about stuff like that because when you see the stuff he does in the movie, and this is based off that, so
See, I sound more like a hippie instead of like Hunter. I was like, well, what if with the sperm in the rocket ship there? No.
well the thing
Here,
that
wait. Hold on. What if we're the we're the sperm of the universe, right? Okay, and yeah, that's why the rocket ship looks like a big old cock there.
Man, it's a cock in the air because it's where it goes, man. As your attorney, I advise you to not make those thoughts and those remarks out loud because now I got a cock in the air in my head. It's kind of like, hey, man, strung out,
See,
man.
that's what I was sounding like before, but now like that's the thing. That's so whenever you are doing like, hey man, like that sounds like you're saying some crazy shit, right? But whenever you do the Hunter S. Thompson, that makes it sound like more legit. Like it's more respectable. He's like a respectable hippie. You know what I'm saying? Like he's an American loving hippie. Like
I
not even American loving, a constitutional loving.
I
Like
wouldn't
he wants to carry those guns. He wants to blow shit up. Like
I wouldn't.
he's Ted Nugent on drugs
That's true.
essentially.
That's a very good. That is a very good assessment or acknowledgement. But I'm gonna say I don't. He's not a hippie, and the fact that I think the hippie like movement kind of wants him to be like him, like they want to be like him. But it's just, I mean, I don't mean to be offensive here, but it's just a bunch of white people out in the day, like hippies. When I found out where hippies come from, it's just like also from like when watching Slacker, it's just rich kids
Yeah.
that ain't got shit to do, and then they're just hanging out, and it's about movement and love. Like, yeah, I get you need that, but at the same time, like they're not really doing anything. You've seen the rioting there too. It's like we're doing that all over again, like repeating
Who
ourselves.
knew?
Like,
Who needs love when you have loathing, right?
yeah, and that's why I mean I don't think I think that's what people want to be like. We're disconnected, but you're really not. This is what disconnected looks like. This is
Yeah.
what, and
This
the
is
great
disassociated.
this
This is
exactly. But think about it. He's very well versed, he's a smart guy. He was in the Air Force, and then Gonzo is freaking a lawyer. So
yeah.
it's like you have these two highly intellectual people around times where people aren't really sharing information other outside of books. So even if you did read a book, I'm pretty sure, like even if you did read books without like having television around, like if you just focus on that, you would still like when you have the knowledge, you have more of awareness. You talk to people more about things. Hey, in this even like nowadays, you read. I'm like, yeah, what? I read because I can't. Cause I suck at reading.
Yeah.
That's what
Well,
like.
I have to give a shout out to Audible because man, I like listening a lot more than I do reading. I've been listening to it at work lately,
Ooh,
and there's I know a lot of
that's
people said
big.
I know, dude, and it's 48 hours long on Audible. So that's why I got it.
I got it. I
It's
got the premium.
because yeah, it will. like with Audible and everything. So you pay monthly and you get one book per month, right? So in my mind, if I get a book, I want to get the most bang for my buck, right? So bang for my butt. Um,
This episode's got
anyway,
to go there.
but yeah, I mean, because like all the Game of Thrones, like at first that was the first thing I got. I have all five Song of Ice and Fire books, and then a couple extra books after that regarding a Song of Ice and Fire, all on audiobook. Um, but yeah, man, that's the whole allure to it. Is like I want to spend as much possible time on this book as I can. Um, and probably the next one I want to go to is The Shining, because the one thing that sticks out in my mind about The Shining is a Friends episode where Joey has to go and put the book in his freezer because he doesn't want to read it anymore, because that's scary. And like with it, I haven't come across any scenes that are just like, oh my god, that's terrifying. Like in whenever I'm listening to it, the only thing that kind of got me was there was a part in the book where one of the it wasn't even a main character or anything, but uh, a kid's dad or a stepdad beats this kid to death with a hammer, and they're like at the trial or something like that. He's like, "What was his last words?" He was like, "No, don't hurt me. I love you, Daddy." And then he kills like that. That shit got me. That was the little part that was just like, ooh, you just kind of sent
that's
tingles down.
that's Stephen King.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's the shit that getting coked and freaking me because a lot of people. So if you're not seeing it, I mean, it's just weird. It's kind of weird. Like nowadays, it's easy to like get on the internet and like show videos of people of this behavior. Back then it wasn't like that. So that is a dark. That because what I think what it is in the 50s is the time frame or 40s.
yeah. It's
Yeah. So
50, 57, 58.
yeah. So it's like it's in the 50s. So yeah. So even back then, um, audiobooks to me, I like I like them, but I prefer to read only because I suck at reading. I really like to work the brain out. But I'll say that with the Hunter S. Thompson tape recorder, I think that's something that made him unique in the way he talked in kind of like a code to himself.
Hmm.
And I think that's what maybe helped him articulate himself. I like listening. Like I can listen to old Kevin Smith, the what like the before when he was real heavy, like when he does all these interviews. I like to listen to him talk in the audio because he's explaining what he's doing, and it's I like listening because I'm like, all right, that's how you do it. So I'll listen to him, or I listen to other interviews. Anybody getting interviewed, like I listened to one with Robert Downey Jr. the other day, and just kind of listening to it. So I feel like that's the kind of thing I like to do with the audio. But if I had to do an audiobook, like I have to do like and which I do. I listen to horror stories, like just and YouTube horror stories, and then there'll be some of just people just reading or writing stories, and I'll sit there and I'll lay down and I'll listen to the story, but I can't do like 48 hours or like a 3 hour far. I think they're like 4 to 6 hours, I believe, audiobook,
Yeah,
something like that. And
and that's the thing too, is like I'm 14 hours in. Like I've just been listening to it at work, and because I have like 4 hours before I have any customers or anything like that. So unless somebody talks to me at work, I'm pretty much just listening. And that's the thing too, is like that is one kind of gap in listening to the books instead of reading them, is that I do miss things. It's not like I catch everything. And whenever I was listening to the Game of Thrones books, I mean, I would. That's when I was driving for Domino's, so I would just be driving, and then if I had a long delivery, awesome, because then I could listen to more of the audiobook. But it was right around the corner that I only get like 2 minutes, and that one I would have to go back and like, oh, what happened here? What happened here? Stuff like that. So that is one little gap in the listening as opposed to actually reading. Um, you, you know, there's
yeah, I mean,
potential.
I mean, you gotta. It's like you have to make time for both. I've seen people that go to the gym and read. Like I used to be like, you're not working out, but I mean, some people can do that. I can't do that. It's just like
Yeah,
it looks like I can't do it doesn't mean someone can't do it. Like I would always just see someone like just making a magazine. I'm like, hey, you're kind of defeating, but I mean, it works for them. I think if I were to listen to like the audiobook of Fear and Loathing, it'd be a trip. Like
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, but it's also like that movie I was recommended that I still haven't seen that I need to watch, which is called Brazil, which is made by Terry Gilliam. Um, that movie is a trip too. I've seen the previews to it, and it's super trippy.
Is it
So,
newer or older
nah,
movie?
it's from like 1980. It's Robert De
Okay.
Niro's in it. It's
Oh wow.
let me see real quick.
Because what Terry Gilliam directed, what 12 Monkeys? I mean, he has quite a list, right?
Yeah, yeah. Let me get him real
And
quick.
he was part of, was he part of Monty Python? Is that
I
correct?
I believe so. Brazil's 1985.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's see. Yeah, the top four builds: Brazil, 1985, Monty Python, and it's a long name. What is this? I can't see it. And the Holy Grail. Never mind. Writer, 1975. The Meaning of Life, writer, and then the Imaginarium of Doctor. Oh, that one we were talking about last time, Doctor
Heath
Parnassus.
Heath Ledger's last outing.
Yeah, yeah, he wrote that movie.
Yeah,
So
so he's all about those trippy movies for sure.
yeah, the
Because there was one with Christoph Waltz that I know he directed. Oh, probably like 5 years ago or something like that. It's like,
you
hell, I
talking
can't remember.
about Christoph Waltz, the
That
actor.
sounds more like Werner
No, you
Herzog.
gotta. It's hard. He talks really back here. It's
No, he no,
Christopher
dude.
Waltz. I'm sorry, he talks in the front.
That sounds like Christopher Walken, but he's not.
No, not doing a walk-in. Um,
Okay, so whenever I want to channel my Christoph Waltz, it's like that's a bingo.
oh, you go on
So
the
the
what
Inglorious Bastards. So
Bastards. Yeah.
uh,
He's got dude. How many languages? I think he can speak like 7 languages.
I don't doubt it, dude.
Dude, that guy. Yeah, he's like one of those.
We should do Christoph Waltz with Tarantino, mix them both, and
I was
do
wondering how we're gonna get
Django
Tarantino though. Well, I was
Django and Inglorious Bastards. We should do that. Mhm.
no, I was well for Tarantino. We gotta do Pulp Fiction.
We don't have to. We
No,
can eventually.
well, if we can we find our way, and then that's how he
Yeah.
also get the Ving Rhames. So he's Pulp Fiction. We're gonna get some guys with some blow torches and some shotguns. We're not done with you.
And then the incomparable Bruce Willis is also in Pulp
Bruce
Fiction.
Willie. How are we gonna Die Hard, and then I mean he's got a
Mhm.
Bruce. He's got a crazy ass.
Dude, we
We'll
should do
see. We'll
Kevin
see.
Smith and Bruce Willis with Cop Out because
It
apparently
is available.
they hated each other.
I would like to,
On
the thing I would like to do with that movie is see how you can do a movie hating your like they really hate each other and you still have a movie. I don't know if it's good or not. I haven't seen the Cop Out. I've
oh,
seen the scenes,
mm,
but
mm.
if like I mean it's also Bruce Willis at his older age. It's just a shell at this point. I'm sorry, Bruce. I'm not trying to talk shit. It'd be probably still badass,
Well,
but
you get that ego about you too. You know, you have Die Hard, and you have people looking up to. I feel like you kind of get that head about you. Um, but could be wrong. But anyway, man, which is funny, dude. I feel like we haven't really talked about these movies all that much. We've just been kind of rambling, which honestly is in true fashion. Um,
one thing I did want to talk about was yeah, that's true. That's what we did. One thing about Where the Buffalo Roam, the scene I liked was when Hunter S. Thompson gave those Super Bowl tickets to those like I don't know whether pimps or whether the just dudes hanging out,
yeah,
and he gives it to him, and then they go in there in the house they're partying and he goes, man, what does he say on the phone? He tells the guy like he ain't here or something. And he's like, no, we're partying. I know he rhymed it, but I was like, that was funny. Like if that really happened, he gave those guys Super Bowl tickets and press passes, and they're like, man, we got press passes, fool. Like while they're doing the live recording. I wanted to see that, but also did you notice that the staff at the hotel in the first movie that they were small? They were
yes,
basically
and in Fear and
basic.
Loathing, that was the case too. Yeah,
Did you notice that the same guy does a repeat?
which one?
The guy Benny, the guy that gets pulled into the room by Hunter S. Thompson, the little guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He's the first scene of he's the waiter when Hunter S. Thompson throws the tip money. That's him. When he goes when at the scene where Gonzalo gets up to go to he gets up and then Hunter S. Thompson pays the tab and he gives him a tip and he throws the tip at the out. That little guy is the same guy from the first one. He's back in it. Let me see what his name is. I don't give him the over. Let's give him some respect.
So he was in Where the Buffalo Roam and Fear and Loathing is what you're
Yes, he's
saying.
in both of them. He had a cameo. I mean, he talks in both of them. He doesn't really have a cameo in Fear and Loathing. He actually has a role. Let's see. His name is. I will find him real quick. It's gonna be actually real long. Oh, Rojas, that guy, that freaking started shooting the machine gun.
Mm-hmm.
That was a weird little scene. But yeah, Peter Boyle as a Gonzalo. He's like
Laszlo. Yeah.
Laszlo. There you go. That's kind of that's a
It's
crazy character.
yeah,
I
it's
mean, I
kind
think
of a
they got. I
stretch,
think like
but
I think especially for 1980, I think they got a good actor as into like that craziness, but it's not the right. He's not the right guy.
It's the eyes. It has to be the eyes because he's just
Yeah,
like, you know, he has that. he- Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
what
find.
did it for me.
I'm gonna find this guy. I don't. This is gonna be hard because I actually do not know what his name is here. I have here. There's a guy called Desk Clerk, but I don't think that's him.
Wait, so you're saying it was the guy who was he in Fear and Loathing?
He was the. If you're in Loathing, he's the waiter. He's the waiter where when Hunter S. Thompson throws the tip,
Okay.
he does it real rude. He throws the tip and he has to go pick it up, or it's change he throws, but it's the '60s, so it means a lot. Let's see. I mean, even I missed Craig Berko. He's a character actor. He was in Long Kiss
Yeah.
Goodnight, little Dickie Roberts. What's
Uh,
his?
bu- bu-
I
bu-
think I
bu-
found him. I think his name is. Let's see. No, damn it. No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna just get lost in this because he was one of the little guys. He was one of the waiters, like one of the guy in Fear and Loathing. He is. I mean, where the Buffalo roam. And you know what? I'm gonna cheat real quick. Let's start wrapping this up. I guess, right? Are we getting close to? Oh, I've had this. I forgot. I've been acting like we've been behind the thumbnail the whole time. So I'm over here all.
yeah, right.
I don't know why. I don't know why I did that. But we're already getting close to the end. So let me see if I can figure this out real quick with my Pam Pan situation. But while we're doing this, I mean, there's a lot of things about these movies that are just like you kind of have to be a Hunter S. You kind of have to kind of know. You don't have to, but it'd be better for you to know who Hunter S. Thompson is when you watch these movies.
Yeah.
It'll totally. You know what? It might be my end or something. I don't know. It might be. We'll figure this out. We're gonna have to practice.
I hear a little bit of cracking on whenever you were just talking right now,
Yeah, I just started playing the
but nothing
movie and
terrible.
started hearing it. Maybe, or it could be Hunter S. Thompson just
I
being
don't have
weird.
anything playing on behind me right now.
Yeah, let's
All
see.
right. So, oh,
While I hunt this guy down,
almost.
let's talk about the scores.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm gonna find him. Look at this. You can see me. You look, and yeah, everybody can see how I'm focused on this. Like I'm gonna get this. I mean, even the way he checks into the hotel, like those two. There's one of those guys, like and that where he has the football scene where he's playing in the hotel room,
Hmm.
and those two guys. That guy comes up. Hey, come over here. Here's for you, and here's for you. Take care of him. Here we go. I found him. I found him. Well, I don't know how he looks like. It usually tells me in the Amazon who the actors are. When you pause it, it'll tell you. All right. Well, whatever. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm just wasting time at this point.
No, no, you're good, buddy.
Let's
You're good.
see. I don't. Hmm, that's what I get. That's what I get. There's a piece of I broke a piece of glass a couple of weeks ago, and I thought I cleaned it up, and right now I just stepped, and I don't have my shoes on, and it feels like I stepped on the glass. But anyways, I'll have to find this actor later. Let's go to the scores. So we're the Buffalo Roam. And it's a great title. And by the way, the movie, the name of the movie comes out right in the beginning.
Yep. Where the buffalo
So on
roam.
IMDb, it's got a 6.6 out of 11,000 stars out of 10. What do you got for the Rotten
Oh
Tomatoes?
man, you were whoa! You probably heard something there, didn't you?
Yeah, I heard that. I'm gonna check
Yeah,
something.
that was ew. Oh no, little tripod
Yeah,
did
that happened.
not. Little
Yeah, look,
tripod
I told you I
accident.
stepped on glass. Like I knew it. Look at this.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
It didn't. It didn't
I don't
protrude, did
know.
it?
I just felt it in my foot, and I was like, get out of here. I was like, is it
See,
going?
okay, is it bleeding?
I don't know, probably.
Okay, well here, if it's bleeding, man, then we have to do Django Unchained and Glorious Bastards,
Nah,
and you just
we're
kept
not. We're
going.
not. We're gonna go the traditional way. Let's see where we go. I'm not. I don't know. I stepped on glass. It's just it happens. You gotta. I was
Yeah,
aware of it too.
let's
Let's see
see.
what you
And
got for me.
you were looking at for Where the Buffalo Roam
Yeah, I already did that. Six
or
point
Fear and
six.
Loathing. All right, Buffalo. So, man, okay, I don't know if you've been having this trouble too, but like every time I in IMDb, whenever I put in uh, Fear and Loathing, it always pops up that Fear Street, and
Yeah, that new thing that's coming out.
yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. Not
No, what you got? Do you want to do the Rotten Tomato for?
Oh, I am. It's loading. Sorry, it's just
Oh,
taking
you're.
forever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were. Yeah. So we're
No,
doing.
no, no.
Yeah. We're the Buffalo Rum. So we got a 6.6, which out of 10, which is I'm finding out is like the average on IMDb.
Yeah. And okay, so where the Buffalo roam on Rotten Tomatoes has a 17% on the tomato meter. Alrighty. And on the audience score, we're going to have a 73% out of 10,000 ratings. Oh, and that 17% was out of only 24 reviews. Um, the critics' consensus is Bill Murray delivers a noteworthy portrayal of Hunter S. Thompson, but where the Buffalo roams strains to get through its rambling narrative. Hmm. What do you think about that?
That's I don't know. It's pretty harsh.
It is, but at least it's given. I feel like Bill Murray did. I feel like the acting was on point.
Yeah, I thought it was good acting. I thought it was. Just, it was I mean, it's just it's an '80s movie. This basic movie is like 79, '80s. So this is like the end of the '70s. So I'll say that like yeah, they didn't really have the technology, but for the movie itself, it's not bad.
No,
It's like
no,
it's like the
it's a
story.
fun
I
little
mean,
trip.
like I said, if you, if you don't know who Hunter
Especially,
S. Thompson is, you're not gonna really like get a lot of the stuff.
yeah. And imagine if you had read these books by Hunter S. Thompson, and you're like, oh, yeah. I feel like the movie would have probably been pretty decent. It's like, oh, I'm going to go see this movie I've read, because I mean, at that point he had the Banshee eating buffalo meat or whatever that book was. Um, so I feel like that would probably have a little bit to do with it too. It would be like kind of that little niche. People would really enjoy this movie. Like a visual telling of what they read on paper,
Yeah.
kind of thing. But yeah, man. Do you want to give your score?
Yeah. I mean, for this one, it's gonna fall in. I mean, the because I've never seen it before, and it's a timepiece for me, as in like it's even from like it's made in the '80s, but from the '60s. It's around an 8 or 9. Because
Yeah.
I like Hunter S. Thompson's story. It's a 9. I'm like say it's not one of my favorite movies, but it's a great movie.
Yeah.
What do you
It's
think
not.
about that?
It's not as memorable as Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Let's
Nah,
just
yeah,
say
no.
that it doesn't have those scenes that are just like shooting at you. Like, I'd give it a I'd give it an 8, solid 8 or 9. I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
This is a more, well, not even a more, a less visually enticing Hunter S. Thompson storytelling. You know,
yeah.
like, as opposed to Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, which, funny enough, I read was a financial bust. Like, it was a flop at the movie theaters.
I mean, a 17 and a 73. That's a huge difference, man.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
like a
yeah.
huge. That's a huge gap. Where I'm like, why would
Hmm.
you? Why would you?
Well, it's because, well, you also have more ratings and everything like that. And like I said, I feel like that the 73%, a lot of the critics aren't, they don't like stories told like that. They want okay, this is, they like the structure to it. And I feel like Where the Buffalo Roam does have more, a little bit more structure than maybe Fear and Loathing, but it definitely kind of veers away from that normal kind of movie. It's and also just the characters alone, man. Like, they're crazy. They're crazy.
Yeah, I
So
mean, so these are the only two movies that they kind of made for Hunter S. Thompson,
yeah,
and they're not off. They're more time limited or from their technology. But I mean, what Terry Gilliam was able to do in 97, 98, it's like, yeah, he was able to kind of really get a lot out of that. The way he used the camera, the way he used the way the layout was, the way the story was told was incredible. This one, on the other hand, this is just a straight up movie. Like you're just watching a movie.
yeah,
The characters are nice. There's a lot of those stories in there, but it's not bad. But it's like I
no,
said, like I'm not the score for. I mean, at 17, that's pretty low though. That's pretty
yeah,
pitiful. At least like a 30 or something. I would think.
yeah.
But whatever. We are entitled to whatever we want. So let's see. Sorry, I got the burps. Where did I put Fear and Loathing? Where did I put that? Here we go. On IMDb, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas has a score of 7.6 out of 10 stars with 266,000 votes.
And so over on Rotten Tomatoes, Fair and Loathing in Las Vegas is going to get a tomato meter score of 49% out of 69 reviews. And the audience score is going to be an 89% out of 250,000 plus ratings. The critics' consensus on this is visually creative, but also aimless, repetitive, and devoid of character development. Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
This is a
That's
freaking
so
joyride.
that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like this is like you said. I mean, with Fear and Loathing, this is a it's a trip. It's a trip. It's not. I mean, this is a movie about tripping balls, and it does a fantastic job of representing that and visually explaining that. And I think that's another thing too. Is like when you have movies where they're like, oh, you got to take drugs, and then you see them like go off into space, and they're like, loving Dovey, and like in 21 Drum Street, you have the face melting and the,
Yeah.
stuff like that, and that's all fun and good, and that's how people describe, you know, drugs and everything like that. But Fear and Loathing, man, like that is like, poof,
Yeah.
melt like. So whenever I tried shrooms the first time. It was like you had that giggly experience at first. You're having a good time, and then once I got off by myself, that's when it just kind of went. It kind of took a turn, right? And so I got under. I was like, I had a blanket on me. I was looking at the wall, and the wall was just like kind of, you know, not necessarily melting, but moving. It was moving. Shapes were moving around. And with Fear and Loathing, man, like you totally get that. You get that disorienting feeling about it, that disassociation about it. Like this movie is a great representation, I think, of what it's like to do at least some of these drugs.
Well, I'll
Um,
tell you, being a guy that does the drugs, representing the feeling of it, then yeah, I can see like if you've never done that, that'd be a great like oh you can feel like that. But actually, I mean and I don't know, some people get head
vi-
highs. I'm a body high guy, so it's like I feel it. I'm looking for that when I'm doing it. That's what I was looking for. Some people like head highs. Some people like to really get messed up in their head, and I think that's what chemicals do. I'm not too sure. I'm not mistaken, but I think if you do more chemical drugs, it goes more to your head
yeah,
where like other drugs are more body ties. But Fear and Loathing with the whole like the aspect of just drug abuse and abuse in general, the way that the living life unhinged, the environment looks gross. And the thing about it, when he woke up and that knife was bloody, he didn't know what happened. That was probably the most okay. If you want to talk about a scene, that was the scene that I liked the most, but it scared the shit out of me the most.
yeah,
And also the Ellen Barker scene was it was a little with me, but
yeah.
that scene where he woke up and he was like, "Holy shit!" Because the room went from it shows you the room looking like shit, and then all of a sudden you see it again, and it even looks worse.
Hmm.
And then so I was like, and he was like, "Well, where the hell am I?" Like he's like, "What's going on?" Like I hate. There's been times where you're abusing, and the lapse of time goes by, when
Hmm.
you're not really doing anything, it doesn't matter. But when you wake up in a scenario like that, or if you wake up somewhere, you're like waking up somebody else's house, or not that you broke into, that you so high you blacked out, but your body was still awake. That you're partying or something. Like I woke up in somebody else's house. I have a story where I fell asleep in someone's house, an apartment. We were partying. Like everybody was partying at the end of the semester, and I passed out on someone's couch, and I went to bed, and there was furniture everywhere, and when I woke up, it was all gone. And I was like, "What the fuck is happening? Like this is trippy." And I found out was, I fucking the people I was staying with was floor 2. Why I was messed up. I went to floor 3, and they're kind of partying there, but they're moving out at the same time. They just so happened to have like a black couch. I don't know if it was the same, but it was a black couch. So when I fell asleep, I didn't even notice that there was boxes and stuff. I passed out, and when they woke up, they already moved all those boxes in there. And I mean, everybody knew everybody, so I just didn't know I was in the wrong, because all the apartments look the same. I didn't realize I was in the wrong one because I was all wasted. So I remember tripping in that room for like an hour, just being like, "Where the fuck am I? What is going on?" Like just you're still coming off that high, and sorry, as you're waking up, you're seeing things like you're like trying to get everything going, depending how fast your body recovers. I was 21, so it was kind of quick. But when I walked out, I was like, oh wait, I can see the pool from this view, and the other view you can't. You can see the whole view and the bottom. I was like, I think I'm on the wrong floor. And then, sure enough, I had my little phone, my little flip phone, had a bunch of missed calls, and text messages. And I was like, oh yeah, I missed everybody. I was like, yeah, I'm over here, and they're like, yeah, come one floor down. You're at 314. We're at 214, and I was like, oh, be right there. And then it was just kind
Yep.
of so that scene to me that was like I was like, wow, that's like they kind of got that. Um, a lot of the movie, like that's what I was saying, because like you don't feel high at all in Where the Buffalo Roams. You don't feel that. You just see these guys getting messed up, if anything. And I'll give Johnny Depp's portrayal of Hunter S. Thompson compared to Bill Murray's portrayal. They're they're completely. I think for the times we're going, because I think Johnny Depp could have got a little bit more. I mean, we could work on his. I don't know, his acting. I feel like Bill Murray just had done SNL at this point, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's another thing too is like the Bill Murray's performance. It felt different at different times. It felt like he kind of channeled it a little bit more at times, and then sometimes it felt like he was Bill Murray. And then like towards the end of the film, it felt like Hunter S. Thompson. Uh,
Yes, the movie. Yeah,
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 but at the beginning, the first couple scenes, it was like, okay, this is just Bill Murray being Bill Murray, like, and that
it
just may
did.
that may just be our that may just be our take on Bill Murray too. This may not have we grew up knowing him from a whole bunch of other stuff besides this.
Yeah, and
So
yeah,
we really have no reference of Bill Murray before this movie. And like I said, what's SNL was 75, and this was
well,
5 years later.
dude. Bill Murray's done a lot of stuff before. Like he's done a lot. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I might know a little bit more, but I know he's done a lot. He has a like. Let me see. Let me look him up real quick, because he has
Yeah.
his article, his catalog for like the '70s is pretty stacked.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, because it's like.
But I do have a Bill Murray story.
I was gonna tell you, let's get the Bill Murray stories out, because there's that
Yeah.
documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Um.
he's been acting since 1973, and yeah, dude,
Okay.
there's a lot.
All right. Cool.
Meatballs was 79, and Coming to Attractions. Yeah, we'll go for it. What's your Bill Murray
So
story?
so my brother-in-law, I might have mentioned this before. I think I did talk about this maybe last week or something like that. He was in this pro-am golf tournament, right? This was probably like 3 years
Yeah,
back.
I think we had a conversation about this and just in general. I don't think. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's on the show.
But anyway, so brother-in-law is part of this pro-am golf tournament up here in Dallas Fort Worth area, right? And so Bill Murray is also part of this pro-am golf tournament. And so they come up to the last hole, and everybody's kind of watching, and it's Bill Murray and whoever the hell he's playing with, not too sure. But so Bill Murray makes his shot, and he grabs the ball, and like how golfers will like typically like
Yeah,
lob it up and give it to uh, the people that are watching. Dude, he just like chucks this thing. I mean, he throw it like if it had hit somebody in the head, it probably would have knocked him out. Like, I mean, he just and it bounces off this like two or this plywood or something they have set up, and you hear it like smack against it, and then people are just like going around trying to find this ball that Bill Murray just threw and stuff like that. He's just like, thank you, thank you. Like it was just like, I don't know. It was a little like that little bit of zaniness, the kind of yeah. What do you got?
I got So the one was he. Long story short, I think it was 2008, 2009, South by Southwest. He was at Shangri La, and he was. I remember it was crowded, and I was like, "Why is it so damn crowded? It's never this crowded like this for the South by." And then I was like, everyone's running to the bar, and I look, and I was like, "Holy crap, is that Bill Murray?" And like people were like just pushing you, so I just like glanced and I moved on, and I was like, "Holy shit, he's in there!" And then everyone like you can't get to him, and then he has the he's walking around, he's asking people, "What do you want to drink? What do you want to drink?" And people are telling him all his drink, and he says all he does is he just pours your tequila. He just whatever he goes, what do you want? What do you want? No, no, tell me. Because I could see him. He's like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? He goes, yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I'll get that for you. What do you want? Okay, yeah, yeah. Tequila. Just gives it to him. And I was like, man, at that point, like, I mean, all I drank was tequila, so I would have been perfect, but I would have been all. But that was funny. And then there was a video on YouTube where somebody was like explaining, the bartenders were explaining what's going on, and he's like, "It's Bill fucking Murray," and I was like, "Yeah, that's cool." But the Bill Murray story that I wanted to share, that was just my experience. But the Bill Murray story that I wanted to share was I was working out in B Caves, and the busser. It was when I first started working there too. So he was only like 17, and I was like 26. And we're just kind of, I was hanging out with the busser just at work, chilling. And I don't know how we got into Bill Murray stories, but he goes, "Hey, you want to hear?" Or we were talking Bill Murray, and then he goes, "Hey, my buddy something happened to my buddy with him." I was like, "What happened?" He goes, "Yeah, my buddy was at the food court at the mall on a Sunday, and he was eating his food. And I think he worked at the mall or something, but he was eating like a burger, fries, and Coke, and that he said that out of nowhere, Bill Murray walks up to him, like stops, looks down at him, grabs a French fry, eats it, and says, leans into him and says, 'No one's gonna believe you.'" Goes away. And I was like, man, that's funny. And then hearing that back then, and then hearing about seeing this documentary they have of him about where he's a like kind of like Bigfoot, like he's kind of this creature. He'll just show up out of nowhere. Like there's a lot of stories like where Bill Murray just shows up out of nowhere, and there's a. I mean, I gotta watch that documentary. I didn't watch it really. I only saw the first 5 minutes and I had to go. But I want. There's all these stories about Bill Murray just doing a bunch of random things. Like he would go go in a park and then start throwing. People are throwing the frisbee. He'd just go in the park, start throwing with them, and then steal the frisbee kind of shit. And then he would also go to I think he's a Chicago Cubs fan, or I think he's one of those baseball players. And he would just go and start talking
Probably,
to
probably Chicago because he was with Michael Jordan on the Bulls.
yeah. Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
He did put MJ on the Space Jam,
Yeah.
but I think with Bill Murray, that did sound something he would do. Here, give me that Bill Murray. Like okay, like did you
Bill Murray.
like what kind of power is that? Here you go. Here you are. You want Bill Murray? Here, I'm here. People, well, and it's like, well, do people really know he's gonna be in there? If I'm sitting way over there and I hear it, and I kind of sounds like Bill Murray, and I'm like, what is it really him? But if I'm expecting him that he might do it, that's another thing. I was trying to show you the photo the guy took. Let me see if I can show you real quick on my phone before we rate the. Well, Fear and Loathing, I could rate it real easy.
Yeah, I can too. Go
It's
for
11
it.
for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 11 as well.
It's an 11. Yeah, I think from from the writing, from the experience of like showing how one may be in Vegas on some hallucinogens, that's a big deal. With well, like showing that kind of stuff. The acting was on par. It was, it really transforms you. The seeing the Dr. Gonzalo do his stuff is really hard to watch too on some parts. But he's
Yeah.
tripping. It's like he's on this trip, and I think people need to understand that these two human beings in this movie, it's based off a story. Don't know how real it is, but they're tripping out. Like if you're tripping out, you're gonna do a lot of shit. Tripping out is your brain's playing tricks on you. You're seeing things that aren't there. You're talking. Talking to yourself. I still talk to myself, so I don't know if I'm tripping all the time. But like talking to yourself and holding conversations, I guess, is one thing. But I like that they show that aspect where they bring you into the world and then they pull you out. They don't really like give you an origin or they don't explain anything. You're just there and you leave. I think that's why some people probably got upset. They need their movies to be a little bit more forward, or they want to be able to. Maybe they didn't get it and then they're upset at that. But the big difference from those two movies is just the time, the 18-year difference. The director, it's got a 7.6. And then what did it get on the 40? We did
49%.
89. Yeah,
89.
50.
There's a real big disparity in between both of these movies between critic scores and audience scores, and that probably tells a lot of audiences are like, yeah, I can relate to this, and critics are like, oh, what's this mess, like that's kind of what I'm seeing there.
Yeah, I see it. I can see it as well. I mean, the critics probably do just as much as drugs as the audience.
They probably just don't
want to
talk about it. Yeah,
they don't want to be. They don't want to. They don't want to be reminded.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we're coming. Oh, man, I do need to get on that intro for us, man. That sweet intro outro for us.
No, dude. No, we'll do it whenever we hit the year mark. Don't even worry about it.
Oh yeah,
you got a couple more weeks.
I got 30 days. I think we're 30 days away from our first episode.
Really?
August 28th. I think either August 20th or August 28th sticks out. But see if you can help me with this. This guy is in both movies, and I can't believe I cannot find his face. See if you can see this. That character.
I got you.
He's in both of them. So he's He's in Fear and Loathing, and he's in
But who did you say he was in Fear and Loathing?
he's the waiter.
The way you mean at the
Yeah.
very beginning, whenever he leaves and
No, I gotta tell you. I'll show you later. But we gotta move on to the
no,
next movies because I have a little friend that needs to go have fun.
uh,
We got
yeah. Here, 1 minute. I think I can help with
with the
this.
Pan Pan situation.
Yes. All right.
So he's the
So
waiter. He's the waiter where they go eat.
and then he runs out and is trying to chase him.
Yeah, the tap
No,
dude. Yeah.
that's not him. Because his only well, let's actually maybe
Well, no,
he
I don't
is.
have. Well, we'll find. We'll talk about this later. I have to actually end the episode.
Okay. No, he is. You're right. Oh man,
Yeah.
he's in
Come on,
both.
man.
I'll be
Come on, man.
damned. There you go,
Come
buddy.
on, dude. There you go.
All right.
Now,
Yeah.
what
His name is Michael Lee Goggin.
Okay, there we go. I was like,
You're
how the
welcome.
hell do I find
Yep.
it? Thank you for doing that real quick. Took a little
You're
back and
welcome.
forth, but we got it. Hey, hey,
Yeah.
hey. You're welcome.
Hey, you're. Thank you.
Hey, I thank you.
Oh, the fucking bats, man. They're everywhere.
Bets. All right, so let's see. Where do we go from here? Richard Rowell might be another person. Good when we go for what's his name again? Michael what?
Lee Goggin.
Where the hell's he at? Well, at least we figured him. I'm happy for
He
that.
doesn't have a picture. That's why you can't find him.
Is he all the way at the
He,
bottom or is he at the top?
no, no, he's at the top of Fear and Loathing. He's like fourth build.
Oh, there he is. It's the wonder ununiform.
It's right after Tobey Maguire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So he was an epic movie, Fear and Loathing, Runaway Train, 1985, and
Critters.
Critters. Ooh, Critters.
He was probably a
So
critter.
we're getting
Sorry.
closer to that 1 year mark, but where do we go from here? What should I just happen to put because there's a lot we can go from here too. I mean, Mark Harmon, but
Mac Hammond. Or we could do
there's
Johnny Depp. I mean, no.
what do you think when you see Johnny Depp? What do you got in there? What do you got on my Johnny
Edward
Depp?
Scissorhands.
And what else are you looking at?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
But I think that's more of a horror movie than a Johnny Depp movie. We gotta let's go if we're gonna go Johnny Depp. We gotta go Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. Okay. So I'm thinking Pirates of the Caribbean.
Adventure movie, squash plunking adventure movie. If you want to do, because I mean, Donnie Brasco would fall under our movies. We have the Ninth Gate.
Let's see what his.
I mean, I want to focus more like let's see. I mean, we could even do Rango. Was this not Rango? What's it called?
Rango. Yeah.
Rango. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
All right.
Blow?
So.
Blows.
Oh, Blow's a good one.
Blow drugs. Oh wow, that's
Let's see here. His top bills for Johnny Depp are Sweeney Todd, Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one, the third one, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So that's what he is known for.
Now check this out. On things you might like with the Fear and Loathing on Rotten Tomatoes, it has Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Big Lebowski, Reservoir Dogs, Shining, and True Romance. I like True Romance a lot, but for Johnny Depp, where would we go with Johnny Depp?
Or we could go Benicio del Toro, or Peter Boyle, or
you know which movie I do
Murray.
like? Do you know what movie I do like? I don't know if you've seen it. It's called Ed Wood.
Oh, where it's black and white.
Yeah, it's also Bill Murray and Johnny Depp combined in this one. Ambitious but troubled movie director Ed Wood Jr. tries the best to fulfill his dreams despite his lack of talent. Director Tim Burton. 1994, 2 hours and 7 minutes. I would totally be open to doing this Johnny Depp movie.
You know, that's a really weird combination. Tim Burton and Johnny Depp. That's
we don't have enough of those. And then, I mean, that's a good one, man. I think I would like to do that, and I don't mind Blow, but that's because that's a Johnny Depp movie. That's him, and that has Ray Liotta. And we also, I would say anything that would focus on him as the main. The Man Who Cried, Caesar. What is this movie? Oh, this looks like a chocolate movie. It's chocolate.
It's chocolate.
Chocolate.
Oh, what? Yeah. This is
I
love you, man.
It's chocolate,
Let's
man.
see.
It's chocolate.
Yeah.
Do you want to watch chocolate?
No. I want to watch chocolate.
You want to watch chocolate? It's got.
Ooh. Wait.
Who's it got in it?
How about Black Mass, man?
Oh, I'll do that.
You want to do that?
Yeah,
And he kind of has the Hunter S. Thompson look in that too, where he's balding.
That's true, dude. And that's 2015, so that's not. Yeah, dude, let's do it. Let's do. Do you want to do Ed Wood and Black Mass? There's like two on the spectrum because Ed Wood's a really nice guy, and Black Mass is more of a villain.
It's Whitey Bulger, dude. Like he's killing people.
Yeah, we're at, here we go. So we are doing. Oh, I don't have them next to each other, but I have. Was it? Well, I did say the Ed Wood one, but let me go back real quick. Well, god dang, I'm not ready for that. I might get. Let's see. Here we go. Ed Wood. So next side by side episode is Ed Wood, 1994, rated R, 2 hours 7 minutes. Ambitious but troubled movie director Edward D. Wood Jr. tries the best to fulfill his dreams despite his lack of talent. Director Tim Burton. Writers Randolph Gray, Scott Alexander, Larry Karaszewski, and stars Johnny Depp, Martin Landau, and Sarah Jessica Parker. And we're going to be comparing that to, or bringing it up with chocolate. We're going to be doing
Chocolate.
chocolate. Where is that? There we go. Black Mass. It is 2015, rated R, 2 hours 3 minutes. The true story of Whitey Bulger, the brother of state senator and the most infamous violent criminal in the history of South Boston, who became an FBI informant to take down a mafia family invading his turf. Director Scott Cooper, writers Mark Moloch, Jez Butterworth, Dick Lear, stars Johnny Depp, Benedict Cumberbatch, and Dakota Johnson.
Yep.
So that's where we're going. We just left the Buffalo Roams, which I love the title because it's just kind of let people be where they be.
I really like that poster that you have back there too.
Yeah, I like the I mean, I still love the Bill Murray one, but I was like, these two go together. These two are happily married. And then Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, where we get to trip balls for 2 hours. And now we're moving on to still kind of staying with Johnny Depp, and we're moving on to Ed Wood and Black Mask. I got to go, so we'll end it here. Anything else, Ben?
Nope. That's a beautiful, beautiful day in the neighborhood.
All right. Well, everybody enjoy their day, and I'll be posting this out soon later today. So, peace. Oh, we also use StreamYard. I don't know if I've talked about it.
StreamYard. It has the duck on it.
Oh, wait. Quack.
Put that duck on there.
There,
Hey,
we'll
there's
end with
that
that
duck.
All right. Adios, sir.